And we are live here at Harrah's in Atlantic City for the NBA Cup Day 2, Match 2, as it's the Ontario Matadors against the Chicago Untouchables. Chicago yesterday took a 3-1 win over Dallas to pick up their first win of the season. Ontario, well, they faced a block fest yesterday and dropped a match in 3 against the OC Stunners. I'm Ira Thor, joined alongside Nick England as the first match today.
That one delivered.
That one delivered and then some, and we'll see if these two teams that are both fighting for position in the NBA standings, well, we'll see if they have the same magnitude of a match as we saw in the opener. Chicago in the sky blue, totally untouchable uniforms, and the Matadors, one of our Southern California squads, wearing their maroon and gold as we are just about set to get underway here. First match of the day, wow. I mean, two teams that had a lot to fight for and went beyond the limit in that fifth set. And meanwhile, Chicago yesterday kept its season alive with a big-time win over Dallas.
Yeah, and while that was the battle of the two 0-4 teams, this is the battle of the two 1-3 teams. So this is equally important. You know, you really got to shore up a win here. Excited to see number 10, Dan Nugent, making his return. He is the brother to Chris Nugent on Team Freedom, so one of our first brother duos. Alternatively, the only other one I've seen this season is the brother powerhouse duo on the Blaze. We've got the younger brother and the older brother of the Guzmans, Pablo Guzman, here this weekend, and we are underway.
And first serve to the Untouchables. And this will be sent over by the Libero, Jose Malero. In the middle, off the block, getting the put away for Chicago is number 16, Paul Bilenzik. He's a 7-footer out of Tinley Park, Illinois, and Park University.
Yeah, Bilenzik was our guy, man of the match yesterday. The 7-footer had a stellar showing.
And I don't see too many 7-footers at any level, and we'll see how much of a force he could be today. This will be a free ball, unable to swing away. They go to the outside, and it is going to be off of the antenna and then the block, so the side out goes to the Matadors.
And now I hope you're ready for the tongue twister in this one that's coming your way, and that's going to be outside hitter number 9, Jake Milnazik, alongside of Paul Bilenzik in the middle. That's going to get you tied up, and I'm glad it's you, not me, so have fun with that one.
Well, fortunately, I have said Milnazik, oh my goodness gracious. I knew his name and I blew it. Milnazik's name because he played here in Jersey at Kean University, one of the Division III powers in this part of the country. And, of course, first chance I have to say his name. It's been a couple years, I guess. In the middle, and got a touch on that one. No, as that side out goes over to Chicago. So back to serve will be Ian Kapp, who was a collegiate teammate of Milnazik, both playing at Kean University. Kapp, a 2-time AVCA Division III All-American. He'll serve. Big time and misses just long as he was trying to split two passers in the back portion of the court. And 3-1 lead. So the Matadors are on the board, and we'll see Jesus Serrano, 6'3" setter out of Guadalajara City, Mexico. Pass out of the back. They go right side. Dug up there by the Matadors and double block, getting it done at the net. It's a combination of Schweid and Bilenzik.
Yeah, Schweid had a great day yesterday. He was a little hot and cold, but overall an integral part on the right side, helping the Untouchables get it done. Alternatively, on the side of the Matadors, make sure to keep an eye on Mauro Isek. He's a great player. He's had experience playing over in Brazil. That's going to be number 12 passing right there.
They go right side again, and tool in the block for the kill. And it'll be a side out for the Matadors after Alvaro Hidalgo was able to put that away. The 5'9" outside out of Lima, Peru.
Yeah, he's significantly undersized, but brings a lot of offense and ball control that this team is looking for, so got to see what he can do.
And he can jump, and it doesn't matter how tall you are if you're able to get up there, and he has. First swing of the match for Nugent. It's kept alive, will be sent over. Second chance here for the Untouchables. Bump pass, left-handed power.
Schwady with a big left-handed kill into the corner.
Schwady out of Purdue University, the 6'5" opposite. And going back to serve will be the big 7-footer Bolanczyk. Down the middle, and that's quickly put away there for the Matadors. So as Gabriel Cruz, 6'7" middle from Morelia, Mexico. And then he gets the ball in his hands and will serve. Funny how often that happens, that you get the put away and then go back
to it.
To the service line, yeah. They go right side and block straight down. And the Matadors continue the run here. Double block on that one. Combination of Petrus and Isaac Morrow.
It's might be flipped on there. It's Morrow Isaac.
Isaac.
I had a fun conversation with him yesterday, getting his name completely dialed in to say it correct. I hope I'm doing him justice. And all of his fans back home, which I'll touch on in a second. But Mauro Isek is actually a big-time YouTuber, has a very big following, over 66,000 followers on his YouTube channel. Ooh. He's a Mexico native and has played, like I said, down in Brazil, an absolute all-star and a sick addition to this Ontario Matadors roster. So
he's a chance to be an influencer on social media and on the court.
Love it.
As that one just long. So Mauro Isek, and I apologize to his fans down there in Tijuana, down in Baja California, for not getting the right emphasis on his name the first time around.
It is certainly an adventure he and I were laughing about yesterday as we were going through it, trying to make sure I had him totally dialed in. All right, there's going to be a serve from Vanderbeek. One of those guys likes to hit a variety of serves, goes for the float serve here. Going to send that one just long. Untouchables more than happy to take that back. And that's going to bring us to 7-6 with a 1-point lead for the Chicago Untouchables.
So we'll see Dan Nugent getting a chance to serve for the first time, spinning the ball on his finger from nearby Fair Lawn, New Jersey. Leaves it just short. Nugent from the same high school program as obviously his brother Chris, but the same high school program that developed me back in the Stone Ages. And Dan was one of the best high school players to ever come out of the state of New Jersey, but instead of having the opportunity to play in college, he chose academics first, went to Virginia Tech, played for their club program, and I think they won a club national title if I remember reading that correctly. But his brother Chris chose a different route, went to Penn State, became a two-time D1 All-American, and brothers chose different paths. Both are playing here, down here in Atlantic City on NVA weekend as we reach our first technical timeout. Good success story. Their father has actually, in his retirement years, as I guess you call it once you're no longer playing, has gone the referee route and has become a proficient referee here in the state of New Jersey. So,
boy, I got to give a quick shout out not only to our referees who have been wonderful all weekend and all season long, but also there is a huge shortage of referees that is occurring throughout the country. And if you want to support the growth, that is actually a great way for you to get involved, figure out what it's all about, learn some of the rules, and even if it's helping at a local high school level, things like that are crucial to the growth of U.S. volleyball. So there's a way for everyone to get involved, and there's a great shot of the team that's here to make it happen, delivering great calls all weekend long. And while the players may not always agree with it, we know that they're taking care of us in delivering a high-quality product, one that the fans can be proud of and a part of, all the same.
Kevin Balls, our lead referee on the stand today, one of the top collegiate officials in this part of the country. And yeah, it's a problem in all sports. It's not just volleyball and your player you never played but have a lot of interest in and get paid for it as well. And that is put away off of the Libero's a valid attempt and another kill as Chicago continues to keep going to Kyle Schwady, the 6'5" Purdue graduate, and he's produced already, I believe that's 3 kills.
All right, we're going a back set here to Vanderbeek, and that's going to be a layout move by Matt Buffum. Matt Buffum, a 6'7" or 6'8" middle blocker, one of the guys that is so well versed in this East Coast culture. Big-time grass player and a very, very defensive middle all the same. But now on the right side of the Ontario Matadors, we're going to see Martin Patrice goes to his float serve, drops that in, passed by Melnazic. Quick, tight set by Cap, little snap over the top, and it's going to be picked up. Matadors have to free ball this over, taken by Rosa into the middle for Bolonzik, dug by Patrice. Serrano goes backside to Vanderbeek. Vanderbeek is dug by Schwede. And there's a net on the side of the Untouchables. That's going to go the way of the Matadors. That's a great looking rally. We love to see that. Ian Cap showcasing his true talents there. A ball about 6 inches off the net. Able to shoot a quick one out to Melnazic on the outside without getting in the net there, but a net still ends the rally later on a blocking move. Patrice goes short once again to Melnazic. Quick set to the backside, and that's Schwede getting blocked. That's, he's got 3 kills, but he's also been terminally blocked 3 times right now. So Schwede's got to be able to, shore that up, see if he can minimize some of the errors while maximizing output all the same.
So I am back after my headset decided not to cooperate for a second. As a side out for the Matadors, they go outside, and it's slotted through for the kill. As Chicago gets the much-needed side out, as that is put away by Melnazic. He's out of Westminster, PA, not terribly far from where we are in Atlantic City. And it's interesting because a Chicago squad that has 3 players either from the Garden State or played collegiately in the Garden State on the floor at any given time in Melnazic, Cap, and Dan Nugent. Nugent, of course, the only one from New Jersey, but Kane University here in Jersey has done a very good job of recruiting nationally despite not having athletic scholarships to give out. Ontario with the serve in the middle. That is kept alive. Good job by Malero. And Nugent in the back row gets a touch. And it'll be sent over. Go right side with it. And falling out of bounds and getting the dig was Rosa. And the ball is going to come into us, right into the hands. Capable hands of my partner Nick England. Gets his first touch of the afternoon.
We live for the game ball touches. That's why we're here. We want to be ingrained in the sport. And while I'm coaching that next match, I certainly want to get a little warmed up myself over here on the desk.
12-10. Matadors find themselves in a lead here in Game 1. Ira Thor, Nick England with you live from Harrah's in Atlantic City. And that is just missed wide. Jake Melnazic went for it. So the Matadors with the serve, using the net there. Great pass out of the back by Rosa. They go outside to Nugent, blocks back. Second chance here. They go back to Nugent, almost a carry. Nugent off the top of the block, and woo! Diving all the way out of bounds into the crowd. What an effort there by Malero. Not enough to save it, but the Juncos Puerto Rico native showing he can fly as he slid into the crowd. And you come out here, there's still plenty of good seats available for our ladder matches. And you may have a player land in your lap too. And in the middle, that was absolutely annihilated. Side out for Ontario. That is put away in the middle. Credit to Kill to Cruz. He's 6'7" middle. Gabriel Cruz will go back to serve. Second time he has served after slugging one in the middle. Great pass by Chicago. They go right side. The touch off the block. Cap goes right back to his former right side here as Schwede delivers. He isn't fazed by the fact that he got a tight set, was blocked back, was able to immediately get underneath that, and Cap goes right back. No fear in going to the same play 2 times. So back to serve here will be the Untouchables. Deep float. And miscommunication there as that pass pushed the setter into the net and ended up being a double call here from our referee, Kevin Ball.
Certainly a tough spot there for Serrano. He's an aggressive setter, but he's back row right now, so his only option was try to figure out a way to get that set off. And we'll certainly keep an eye out. I guarantee you he's going to hit a couple balls and dump a couple with a lot of aggression throughout this match. Big swing in the middle, punched up and kept alive by Isak. Goes backside to Vanderbeek. Vanderbeek rolls over the top. And that one is going to hit the line or get a touch. Couldn't quite tell, but either way, it is a point for the blonde-haired Thor, all the same. Finally nicknamed Thor by all of the Ontario Matador fans. If you don't know why, check out his hair, check out those braids, and more importantly, check out the hammer. That's his right arm.
I don't know if I should be offended. I was the original Thor, but I'll allow him to partake in the name. He's certainly playing up to it. He's got the blonde hair that I do not have.
And check those braids out. His hair is always on point. He likes to let the golden locks flow, but right now he gets the hair braid done. A well-versed player that plays an ample amount of beach and grass. Fun fact, he got a scholarship as a collegiate tennis player. He then transferred later on to start joining into the volleyball world, and if I'm not mistaken, he's the second youngest player in the NVA at a very old 23 or very old 22 or a very young 23, rivaled only by Anguizzola, one of the outside hitters on the Stunners, who is 20 years old. He is a youngin' in the league.
And would you know who our oldest player in the league is?
Well, it used to be, I believe, Russ Holmes before he finally hung the jersey up for good. The owner of the Utah Stingers played last November. But as of right now, I don't have that one off the top of my head. But as a little nod to my guys over in Utah, I'd have to say that Team Dad over there might have one of those guys.
If you can still play the game, and Tom Brady in the NFL has shown that age is literally just a number. It's the heart, and it's also how healthy you're able to keep your body. And there's a lot of injuries to go around this week. And we saw last night Team Freedom late in the match actually lost
Chris Vaughn.
Chris Vaughn, they're starting outside, and actually had to go back to the bench to Bez Arslani, who had to come out of the match because he got a COVID shot yesterday and was starting to feel the chills that sometimes come with it as a side effect. So
you talk about cooling down on a literal level. That man is cold to the core.
After the technical timeout, and that will find the spot in the back corner. That's put away for Chicago, who gets the side out, cuts the deficit to 2. As Matt Buffum, who actually trains with Team Freedom, one of the players that does train locally, despite playing in Chicago, 6'7" Chesterfield, Missouri native, gets the put away. That is poked over. Here's a chance. Cap is going to go for it. From the back row, Thor. No. Unable.
It's funny, if you are a Libero fan or you love watching great defense, we're talking about the extremes, the youngest, the oldest. Well, I can tell you the shortest in the league. That is number 11, Jose Mulero from Puerto Rico. And that man is full of flair and a ton of fun to watch. He is so casual, and his entire ambiance about him just exudes confidence in himself. So check him out for sure. A lot of fun.
Cap is going to send this one over. Real shallow chance for the Matadors to swing away, and a quick middle set puts it away right on the line. No chance there.
Martin Patrice, that's a great kill. Get involved early. He's been one of their dynamic middles. To see him alongside Gabriel Cruz is a huge plus to this roster.
And Juan Rosa had very little time to react there, as now it's a 1-point lead. Now 2-point lead as they added one to make it 17-15. They go outside, and well, a little ping pong action, able to keep it going. They go right back to the outside and get the touch for the kill. Monazic comes through, the 6'2" outside from Westminster, Pennsylvania.
Now we're going to see Matt Buffum, and like I said, this guy is one of the best serving and digging, defensive playing middles. When he gets into that left back, he is notorious for making some great reads and extending 2- and 3-point runs, so we'll see what he can do here.
Right back in the middle, dug up by Chicago. Second chance, good dive play by Nugent in the back. Monazic sends it over. Third opportunity is poked deep corner for the put away.
Well, sometimes watching every match here really pays off. They weren't quite able to come up with it, but there was a big scoop in the middle of that one by Matt Buffum, absolutely scooping the middle from the Matadors there. You'll love it when you got a middle that can put their helmet on, get in there, and get something done. Patrice goes short with the float. Great location. Rosa airs it out in the middle of the court. Miscommunication on who can take it.
Nugent sends it over. They go back row to Vanderbeek. Outside, Milnazik will swing away and gets the result.
And if you don't know about Milnazik, well, you're going to know after this weekend. He hits angle, angle, and more angle. And once you finally keen in on that, Kane went to Kane. Didn't even mean to do that, but okay, back on track. He likes that high line roll shot down the side, so keep an eye out for that. He's a well-versed hitter that, even though he's undersized, gets the damage done for sure.
Cap, this could be a free ball, swinging away and delivering. Oh, the masterful swing, the meatball that comes back to your dish.
Mr. Balanzik, the 7-footer, the tallest middle in the league. There's a lot of ists and shortists and tallists and all.
Did he even have to jump there? I mean, was that even necessary?
He certainly did, but add a little extra zhuzh on that one. And
another opportunity, free ball, but this time they're waiting for him and read it well. The solo stuff by Serrano.
There's a 6'2", 6'3" Serrano going up after the 7-footer, and there is a huge height discrepancy there. But big players make big moves, and Serrano gets after it right there. Love to see it.
And he did a good job of reading the fact that there was going to be a free ball opportunity to get up and challenge it.
Yep, absolutely. Disciplined block, disciplined move, and an undisciplined serve, and that's going to send it back over to the Untouchables.
And we're all even at 19-all. Milnazik has the ball in his hands here. Chicago with the victory yesterday, trying to go to 2-0 on the weekend after an 0-3 start to the year. And he gets the ace as he eats up Jose Malero with a deep line drive jumper. And Chicago, for the first time deep here in set number 1, has the lead. 20-19.
We're having a little technical difficulties. Score will be updated momentarily. It's currently 20-19 in the favor of Chicago Untouchables. We'll get that one, and there it is. Our team on top of it as always.
Same spot, goes back over and a free ball opportunity is sent back. They go right side and getting the result. A kill off the block by Schwede.
Now he's made that good adjustment. Earlier on, he was going into that hard angle every time. So every now and then when the Matadors had the right blocking move set up, they were able to establish a well-formed block, and that's where he was getting kind of shut down there for a little bit. But now he's changing up some of those angles, challenging the line block, going high hands, and just showing a variety of different swings. It's paying off in leaps and bounds. Love to see Schwede battling back in the first game like that and showing what kind of value he can provide here on the right side.
Now Ian Cap was, talk about young players, member Chicago Untouchables, was just named a second-team All-American this past year in Division III for Kane University, despite the fact that they played a limited schedule. They did have first-team All-American squads this year. They did have an NCAA tournament, which was nice to see. But Cap didn't play last year in 2020 and really has been a player, I think, who's been underrated through his career. Can you talk about the significance of adding such an experienced player to your roster and how that has made a difference here as Chicago is trying to transition through its second tournament of the year?
Sure, he's setting now. He's played libero. He played outside hitter when the Tennessee Tyrants, before they were the Texas Tyrants, they didn't have enough outside, so Cap was balling out as an outside, all the while being the most lethal server in the NBA. He was able to bring back in Utah. There was a 6-point deficit that he overcame when they were playing the LA Blaze by hitting 6 aces in a row to win that. And you're seeing it here. He's earning overpass after overpass, an absolute critical part of any roster, and Chicago is happy to have him.
From the back row, oh, Thunder kept alive by Cap. And they poke it deep. What are they going to say? It's a lift. And I believe that's going to indeed be the call. Still an impressive feat there by Cap to not be annihilated.
I just talked about being a libero as well as an outside as well as a setter, and that's what you get. When you've got a guy that is good enough to make libero moves in your right back spot, he makes big-time digs, and there it is.
Lima with the pass. They go. Nugent's going to use that beach experience here in Jersey to poke it over, keep it alive. Off the block. And we have a joust at the net. Cap goes to the middle with the left hand, won't fall in. And it'll just be a free ball chance. Can Chicago come through here? Can they capitalize? They go to the middle. Oh, a diving save by Malero. Fourth chance for Chicago. And this time, slotting it through for the winner. Wow, what action.
Coming in clutch once again. Jose Mulero with 2 one-handed diving stabs in there. Cap delivering falling set after falling set. Location was on point. Both teams selling out to make that one happen. You love to see that.
Credit to Juan Rosa, the libero for Chicago, with 2 timely pickups, and serving here is Bolanczyk. In the middle, put away for Ontario. They have tied it up. And we are even at 22-22. I misspoke. I said Cap was a 2-time All-American. He was actually a 3-time All-American, sophomore, junior, and senior years at Kane.
Well, let's make sure we don't undersell our guys like that.
Yeah, well, you know, I didn't look back far enough as that sails into another ballroom. You know, I remember the year he had in 2019, and obviously this year, 2021, but man, he emerged in 2018 when Kane made an NCAA run and never made it to the first team All-America squad. He was a 3-time second teamer, but talk about being understated his value. Being All-American 3 times and consistently leading his team. Meanwhile, it's 23-23 as we are now, well, it's a race to 2 to see who can take this first set, and Vanderbeek, my namesake, has the ball in his hands. Cap in the middle, off the block, covered by Mulero, and then poked wide. And totally laying out there was Rosa, and he recognized that the ball was going to trickle wide and immediately pulled his arm back.
And that's why you make that effort move. You go all the way so that you have the chance to make that decision, because if you don't make the move, you aren't ready for it, then it's not up to you. And He got to make that decision. He was in control all the way. And I just want to say a quick thank you once again to Harrah's Casino. And if anyone's in the Atlantic City area, you want to swing by and see this in person, be sure to swing by. And there's a great opportunity to swing by the NVA booth that is here by the NVA main court to grab some official team gear and some official league gear. All the teams support that. And if you want to talk about support, every one of these teams is doing their best to create content that you want to see, you want to learn about, and you want to engage with. So be sure to check them all out on Instagram. And if you don't know who should be your favorite team, I am sure there is a team for everyone. So get on Instagram, go check out NVA USA, and you'll see all the teams on there. And they've all got their own individual pages, as well as NVAUSA.com. And finally, for the plugs for the league, if you're checking us out on YouTube, be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the quality content that the league pushes out weekly with our Quest for the Cup YouTube series.
Now, get some swag when this one's over. We are on set point here. Chicago, well, we're going to continue on as that free ball is punished by Serrano, who doesn't give a second opportunity. And we are even at 24-24. And it's a chilly day here in Atlantic City. Temperatures are in the 40s this morning with the really stiff, cold rain, and it'd be a good time to pick up some NVA, maybe a long sleeve t-shirt or maybe even a pullover on a day like this, as that is a line drive, but down the line and out of bounds. And another side out set point opportunity. Serving here for Chicago will be Matt Buffum, the 6'7" Elmira College alumni. They go outside. Roll shot is short, and the bid by Hidalgo is no good, and Chicago with smiles on their face as they are able to prevail here in game one, 26-24. And that was an exciting one. You see some exchange there between Schwede and Bolanczyk. Happy to get through that one with the W.
Yeah, and that's there's a dynamic duo right there. We want to see Bolanczyk get a little bit more involved in the offense. I mean, he is such a defensive, critical part of their defense with the blocking moves he's able to make at a sterling 7 feet tall. A true 7-footer. I've had the opportunity standing next to him and feeling short all the same, and I'm 6'4", so when someone makes me feel that small, I'm like, oh, yep, you're not lying. That's the real thing. I think his Instagram handle is something along the lines of Paul too tall for you. And it couldn't be more true.
No, I've done that for years. When I see a roster and I see somebody listed at a height, I'm 6 foot, maybe 6'1", but shrinking, and I'll casually a little walk across the court and I'll just poke, look to my left and see, are you really 6'10"? Are you really 7 foot? And sometimes you could tell there's an exaggeration, but he's a 7-footer as
There's
true
no
as there is.
exaggeration there. And anybody that's getting a hit against him, they can find that out firsthand if they want to challenge those hands up there with the swing.
And it's not only is he 7 foot, but he can certainly jump for a big guy, and his ability in the middle. This is certainly going to come down, I think, to the middles in terms of on these free ball opportunities. There's been more free ball opportunities than you would expect for a first set, and I think it's going to be which team's able to kind of limit that is going to really have an opportunity to set themselves apart here as we move through game number 2. You don't want to fall behind 2-0 here. Second day, I wouldn't think anybody's tired yet, but it's a long weekend of volleyball, and every one of these matches are meaningful. For those fans who are home who don't know the playoff, how it's set up, and that's going to be in July after our June event, which is in San Bernardino. That is the weekend of June 12th and 13th. Yep. But can you explain how the final NVA Cup's going to work?
Absolutely. So we've got 2 conferences, the National and the American. And that final event in July, the top 4 teams from each of those conferences will qualify. Now, the way that they qualify, it's just a simple head-to-head record. Top 4 records go, and we're also doing FIVB scoring to earn points. That's going to be the tiebreaker. So what that means is the manner in which you win or lose really matters. So you earn 3 points if you win a match 3-0 or 3-1. If you win it in 5, you get 2. So the Ramblers yesterday got 2 for their win. But because the Stingers were able to send it to 5, they were able to earn a point. Now, if you lose in 3 or 4 games, then you get no points at all. So the way in which you play the game actually will matter. So we're at that point where the first event, everyone kind of put their toes in the water. An 0-3, it's still something you can recover from. 3-0, definitely going to put you in a good spot. But we are now getting into the thick of it. That's why this match is so important. Both of these teams at 1-3 right now, getting that win to push you to 2-3 is going to help put you in a spot that you're not battling with that 5th seed to make sure that you're not the one knocked out. Because when we roll around to July, you don't want to be those 2 teams that don't make it back.
And that's why it was not necessarily a bad loss last night for the LA Blaze when they lost in 5 to Team Freedom. Obviously, you want to pick up the W there if you have the chance, but they were still able to establish the point. Our first match today, if Dallas is able to find itself back this weekend and in the June event, that point by going to 5 against the Southern Exposure squad could come back to help them later on. Obviously, a big hill for them to climb now, being now 0-4.
Yeah, and it's really one of those critical things when you're in the thick of it all. Dallas Tornadoes, they're going to be trying to make a late season run here. They've got 4 matches left to try and pick up a win, and they're going to need at least 3, I think, there of those 4. We'll see as the conferences unfold, and every day we're throwing that graphic around, and you'll get a chance to see exactly what it looks like. But for right now, Dallas Tornadoes, they're going to need that point because in case it goes to a head-to-head, if they're the 4th, 5th seed combo, like that tied location, they're going to absolutely need that point when it comes down to it. So we'll keep an eye on that, keep you guys filled in. Love you bringing us back to that point so everyone knows exactly what they can expect. But we are back underway with Chicago Untouchables in a big offensive swing. Take it away.
So I'm in the back row, and that is stuck off the extended arms of the blocker as the Matadors, they break through first. Credit the kill to Isak, the Tijuana native. Gets the first points here for the Matadors. And second match of the day. We have 3 more to follow after this one. I think there was a foot fault. And it was indeed a foot fault. We've seen a lot of those called this weekend.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that we've got you've got probably 12 to 15 feet of clearance back there with the sport court, but everyone likes to use all the space they can. So when you get these big jump servers, everyone's tossing aggressive. They're tossing into the court, and they want to go after it. So you talk about going after, though. Put your helmets on. Here comes Ian Cap.
It's funny, and Cap gets the ace. And I was about to say, if you look at his footwork, he actually has his heels kind of leaning off of the court onto the carpet here inside the ballroom. And, he's actually starting with his toes pointed up by doing so.
I just want to say a big shout out to Cap for me teeing him up for the big serving pressure, and then he just delivers that ace. I appreciate you and all that you do. If you can do it one more time, everyone in Chicago would be very thankful.
Almost delivers there. That's run down by Malero, and Vanderbeek leaves it short. As a server yourself, is that enough clearance space? Do you prefer more? Do you prefer less? What's your preference?
For 95% of your servers, that's going to be more than enough. But, another foot or 2 maybe removes all doubt. but it's really that guys are going to use all the space that you give them most of the time. So it's on the athletes to make that adjustment, and Cap, showcasing exactly what that takes.
Once again, out of system, the Matadors have to swing because of the big serve from Cap, and slugged away, put away. Ooh, do I get a souvenir? I do not. Schwady with the winner. I thought that was coming my way, and you got a touch. I got to get at least one.
Yep. Scores 1-0 on the sideline. England over Thor with the game ball touches.
Touches by me may ruin the ball at this point. Cap will serve as well. And no, he just misses long. I love how he is just going at it every time. No fear. Obviously, early in the match, you can take more opportunities, more chances than you would if it was a fifth set, but he is absolutely a warrior back there as the setter for this Chicago squad. And that is the return fire as the Matadors get within one. The ace to Hidalgo. Big time swing by the 5'9" Peruvian. I love how we also have, despite this being a U.S. league, another ace back-to-back by Hidalgo. I was going to say you see so many players that have that international connection. Another great moment for the sport of volleyball to see not only U.S. players, but so much of North America represented.
Yeah,
and South America, quite frankly, because it's Peru.
And a huge part of that really comes down to people want to know how to get involved. And right now, in the with the NBA being so young, what it comes down to is if you want to get involved with these teams and you've got a skill set that helps the team out, the commitment level is what makes the difference. These guys, there's about 5 to 6 guys per each roster that plays professionally, internationally as well. So they're able to come in and just focus exclusively on this. But the rest of the guys on the roster, they work 9 to 5s. They're doctors, they're teachers, they're accountants. They're doing that stuff, and that's what it takes. But they're willing to go practice 10 to 1 in the morning and get up 5 hours later and go to the office. Do it 3 times a week, and that's what it takes. That's what goes on behind the scenes. So, committing the time to the workout, to the practice, to getting the touches, that means also you're not working, you're not with the family. If some of these guys have kids, and it is something that will continue to change as the sport and the league grows. But that's the reality of where we're at. So what does it take? It takes committed individuals that aren't in it for them, but they're here to help their league, their team grow and move forward. And so when you see all these athletes out here, that's what they're all about.
And that's what goes unseen, is work behind the scenes, the hours spent in the gym, the time away from your family, as that is put away by Nugent. The time working out to make yourself stronger, being able to keep your body healthy. You see, us as fans, those watching at home, see the product in front of them. But it is that story behind the scenes to get to this point, to be this elite level athlete. As that sails long, as we've now had 3 service errors on the last 4 points. There was a big foot fault by the Matadors on their second to last serve. And when I say big, he was about a full step inbounds.
Yeah, that line was under the arch of his foot.
Here's Vanderbeek with the deep jump float. They go right side, cross court, credit the kill for Schwady, who is probably had the best all-around effort so far, other than Cap.
It's crazy. I mean, he had an early, a couple early big swings, and then he got blocked 2 or 3 times in a row terminally. But that did not slow down the Schwady train. He is all aboard right now, cranking kills out left and right.
He got a big smile on his face after that one. And waiting for that one was Nugent, blocked back. And it'll be free ball over here. Chance. Cap sets up in the middle. Thunder from Buffum. Matt Buffum smashes it down, forcing our first tactical timeout. 8-7 Untouchables on top.
Man, he's doing Elmira College proud out here, banging that ball down with authority. That is a great swing for Buffum. And that's one of those things, Chicago Untouchables, they are a team that is centered in some fantastic defense, but also some pretty solid middle prowess between the trio of Burrell, Buffum, and Balanzik, the B-boys, if you will. They're a very, very well-rounded group, and this is another one of those teams that there is a ton of firepower still on the bench over there. You got Dante McCoy, Eddie Kiesecker, just a variety of guys. We saw David Holliday being a role player for them on the right side yesterday to help get Schwady back on track, and just a variety of setters. You see Ryan Alou is not even on the court right now, and Juan Rosa's having a great match. So they've got a variety of liberos and a variety of firepower. Nick Ramos not playing outside, and he's been one of their biggest contributors offensively. They've got Will Ragland on the bench right now, who's one of the biggest servers and currently a top 5 ace holder coming into this event. So when you look at that, to see that this team was 0-3 out of the first event, they are certainly, it is not representative of what is going on there. But I got to tell you, adding a little bit more firepower with Cap and Milnazic, this team is a couple upgrades away from just being a top team in the league. There's a big swing there from Patrice, able to absolutely hammer that ball home. And now we're going to have a serve once again from Mauro Isek. Big jump server. All this international experience is going to pay off for him. He applies a ton of pressure, and we want to see him come a bit more alive here and deliver some big swings.
Tied at 8-8. Serve goes deep and tight right side into the net. The block not a factor there, as Matadors able to score twice in a row to put themselves back in the lead after the technical timeout. 9-8. 1-0 if you just tuned in. 26-24, Chicago was able to prevail in extra points in game number 1 and sends it right back to the Untouchables with serve into the net. So 9-9, Dan Nugent, who along with his brother Chris, both members of the all-decade team for the 2010s, and that won't be on his highlight reels. That's into the net. Dan Nugent, Chris Nugent, both out of Fairlawn, one of the top high school programs in the state. Southern Regional, which has produced a number of Division I players, is probably the closest major high school program to where we are here in Atlantic City. They go outside. Milanzik swings away, dug up in the back row. And off the block. Did it catch Serrano going out of bounds?
It absolutely did. And you love to see that if you're the Chicago Untouchables. A great move that they stuffed straight back down.
It was the doggo, not Serrano, so I apologize, as that results in the side out. They go back, and the second time around putting it away.
Never twice. He's not going to get stopped that easily.
So it'll be Serrano, the 6'3" setter. He'll have the ball in his hands. And leaves it short. So many service errors so far here in our second set. So 11-11 here in game number 2. And that goes long. And back to serve will be Hidalgo, as the Matadors find themselves in front by 1. And another, oh my gosh. They are, Nick, I understand the significance of wanting to serve tough, but they're not serving smart right now, as they are being very short on, I think that's now 5 of the last 7 serves. Got to give yourselves a chance to at least play here, as that's off the tape. And Vanderbeek says enough as he slugs that through the block.
Yeah, and you were talking to bring it back and kind of focus on that the serving thing. An interesting counterpoint as well. It's aggravating to watch missed serves. The thing that is so important to keep track of is they've missed that many serves that they haven't played the point and they're tied up almost. So that's a little scary for the Chicago Untouchables that you've seen now 6 service errors. So that means that almost half of your points right now, you didn't even have to play to earn. So if Matadors cuts that in half, all of a sudden you might be in a world of hurt. It just really comes down to, so while it is, it might seem all bad, there is another side to it that Matadors might really be able to take advantage of, but we'll have to keep track of that, and hopefully there's there's a pot of gold at the end of this rainbow of missed serves.
That's a pot of gold there for Chicago. Double stuff. Buffum largely responsible for that one. Nugent involved as well. Big time block. And it is a side out and a point for Chicago, leading by 1 here, midway through game number 2. And net violation on the Matadors. I think they're trying to say it was against Chicago.
It hit the antenna, I believe, on the way by.
They may have. Can't really see it from our vantage point where we're sitting, but they asked to speak to the line judge on that side. And that is what's going to happen. Our down official will have that conversation. And they do award the point to the Matadors.
Ball's out.
So the score gets reversed. It's 14-all now.
And Chicago Untouchables, you know, I like this about the Untouchables. They're not going to argue it. It doesn't matter what they feel. Maybe they know exactly what's correct, but they're just going to let it happen, and they're going to go right back to it. And you know, don't let that deter what you've got going mentally right now, because you just got to come out here. You got to play the whistle, and you got to make it happen for you.
Vanderbeek, who played his collegiate volleyball at NAIA Westcliff. That's blocked back, and a very tight set did not give Chicago much to work with. And the lead goes back to the Matadors as we've had so many lead changes here in game number 2 after Chicago had to come from behind to win game number 1. These two teams certainly playing a competitive match. Vanderbeek with the line drive. They go right side and slipping it through for the winner with Schwede. He's got to be in double figures in kills already.
Yeah, no, he is absolutely having a field day right now, and it's not for the lack of effort. That's a great double block. Patrice gets all the way out there.
When you're an attacker going up and you see the double block, what are you looking for to try to be able to find a way through those hands?
Well, it really depends on, you know, my set location, what position I am. You know, it's one of those, it's an algebra equation with about 15 different variables. It's where is my setter locating me with the ball? How have I been hitting thus far? Have I been able to find some success? Where is their defense setting up with me? If I go with a roll shot over the top or a tip over the top, is that going to fall down because the team's currently respecting how much offensive effectiveness I've been able to establish? You know, there's an ongoing joke in the SoCal gym, so I still train with the Las Vegas Ramblers. And in that gym, we have half of the squad, so our team is practicing in Las Vegas and half in Southern California alongside Blaze and the Stunners. There's an ongoing joke I have with Nick West, one of the middle blockers from the OC Stunners. And the joke is that we're not allowed to leave a good training until he has blocked me straight down. So to answer your question, I look at him. He understands my arm swing. He knows what I want to do. If I see him blocking me, I'm not challenging him angle. I don't care if it's Jair Santiago, a 6'10" blocker in front of me. I feel more confident hitting at him, trying to burn one off his arm, go high hands, or tip into the block and reset than I feel about hitting at Nick West. So, you know, it's one of those things that's hard to have a concrete answer, but you start to develop an identification of the players in your region, the guys that you practice with, the different swings you do and don't like, and that's where, you know, we talk about Molnazic. He's got his, like, 2 bread and butter swings between the angle, like, hard angle shots and then that line chop. And so, you know, you see that. That's what players scout, and it just creates this huge game of cat and mouse. How do you adjust your defense? How likely is that guy to get set? So it's this really complicated thing, far more than just see ball, hit ball.
And that's another edition of England's Insights here as we come out of our technical timeout. Chicago leading by 1. They go back row. Oh, with authority, high off the chest, put away with the winner by Hidalgo. That'll leave a dent in the chest of Juan Rosa.
All right, getting a little bit of audio sorted out here. If you've been hearing some crackling, or apologies, we've been working on that dynamically. Always got our production team's always got our back. And we got Nugent going to the outside here, dug by Milero. Serrano goes to the middle. Patrice blocked, attempted to be kept alive. And while Milero goes under, the conversation here is, in fact, that the call for going under is, do you interfere with the play? So right there, it is determined that he is in fact interfering, so point's going to go side of Chicago Untouchables. But that is incredible effort all the same. And we're going to see the Chicago Untouchables now heading back at a 16-all tied up. And that's going to be Nugent now looking to get involved on the service line. Goes for a float. Taken by Hidalgo with his hands. And there's Thor's hammer, the backside, number 17. Vanderbeek flashing it as he goes down the line. What a great swing. Absolutely delivers. Great kill for him there. And now we're going to see Patrice hitting the float serve.
17 all. Cap sets up his middle, who puts it down. Put away by and Chicago trying to find a little separation here as we get later in game number 2.
Apologies, we know that the audio is still getting worked out. How is he coming through, guys? Is he good, or try it again?
I've been
awesome.
I've been so excited I broke our mic. First one went down. That's the other power of Thor. Off the hands.
Oh my, what a
kept
set.
alive, and then Cap is able to find it off the block. They go outside, cross court wide. Did get the touch? Oh, the Matadors disagreed, but the touch there gives the point over to Chicago. We'll see the Buffum with the ball in his hands, and now a 2-point lead for the Untouchables. And you can probably hear, I don't know if you can hear it as loudly as I can, but it has really gotten loud here in this ballroom today as that is put away, because if you're not aware, not only do we have this awesome tournament going on for the next 3 days, but we also had juniors going on, so about a dozen courts or so spread out here on this first floor. There's actually courts upstairs as well, and you know, not only can you come out and see some great volleyball, you can see some players of the future as that is stuffed back and falls in play. Gabriel Cruz with the solo stuff.
And you mentioned that juniors events. I do want to say one more time, quick shout out to JBJ Events, who's putting that on, partnering with us and making this all happen. So a huge thank you to them.
And an ace, and the Matadors reclaim the lead. It's 20-19. An ace for Serrano, and a timely one at that. The first to 20 are the Matadors here. He takes a little something off this one. Serrano digs it up. They go outside and blocked back and unable to chase it down.
Wow,
Chicago
what a great block on the side of Bolonzik out there with Schwady, or that was Cap at that time. What a combo.
That's tough to get past the 7-footer. And Chicago takes advantage, and Cap, tough server. You see his heels on the carpet and leaves it short. He's come up big so many times at the service line. This time, the power just a little too short, and now we'll race to 5-1-0. The Matadors on that race. 21-20. Good pass. They go right side. Oh, I don't even know how they got a touch in that one. Madero. Then a free ball poked down, put away by Cruz. And Chicago gets the warning as they are frustrated. And
Jose
the Matadors,
Mulero flashing his stuff. Number 11, the little guy in yellow, with a huge dig that enables that rally to continue and gives Gabriel Cruz a chance to use his size, get a quick punch, and get a point there for the side of the Matadors. What an incredible effort to see the libero influence the play so importantly right there.
It's really fun to see the size differential, the 5'4" Mulero, on a court with all these trees, being the one to make the impactful play on a ball that seemingly looked like it was going to sail into the bench. And it's a 2-point lead here at an important juncture in the match, because if Chicago took a 2-0 lead, really hard to come back with that reverse sweep. And the Matadors have a golden opportunity here to force a game 3 even at 1-all.
Yep, and that's, we always talk about it. Volleyball is a very fast-paced version of chess. You're figuring out who can do what for you and how to manage the game, and here it is.
In the middle, 1-2, quick touches, sent over, short free ball. In the middle, again, this time Belanzik's dug up. Third opportunity, blocked back, gonna fall in. Double block for the Matadors, Cruz and Isak, and it's 23-20.
What a stellar performance. Mulero, we always joke about putting the helmet on. When we say that, it's because you're basically stepping into a zone that is so dangerous that if that swing goes high on you, you're in a bit of pain there. But Mulero knows when to put it on, gets in there, getting dig after dig, giving these guys up front a chance to battle. And Ontario Matadors show what it is to be resilient. They take a 3-point lead and they say, we are going the extra mile today.
Can Chicago respond? Hidalgo serves, and an ace right in front of Rosa, and we are a moment away from a potential 1-1 tie in this match at 24-20.
Looked like he was pretty close to a foot fault on that last one.
Set point number 1. Glances off the lights. Off the hands for the kill, so momentarily after that's put away by Schwady. Side out here for Chicago. See if they can fight back or if it's all just a moment from set 3 as we have the ball in the hands of Jake Molnazik. Uphill battle here, still down 24-21. Off the tape. They go outside, blocked back. Wow, I don't know, was that a double touch? It was. I think they tried to get away with that one as Mulero got the first touch and then touched it again and tried to see if anybody would notice. We noticed.
I didn't.
I noticed, but he's also about to run to my in front of my face.
I also have a cameraman.
Yeah, you can't see through that guy. No X-ray vision here at the table. 24-22, and that'll do it. As a very tight game number 2 saw the Matadors make a couple key blocks and get the result here, 25-22, and we are even at 1 set apiece.
Wow. You love to see that. The Ontario Matadors coming in with a variety of, they're scoring effectively, but it's really, from Mauro Isak and, Jacob Vanderbeek, there's a lot of offensive power right there. You're seeing a lot of offensive pressure from Hidalgo, number 4 on the back line. But Patrice and Cruz in the middle right now are really making it work. They're getting a lot of block touches. They're going pin to pin. They're making it happen to slow the ball down. And that's what we heard at the end of the last match when you were talking to D'Agostino. It was so important. He said, our middles are being top tier. They're getting block touches. They're slowing things down. And at this level of volleyball, if you can't block, you can't play the game. Don't even try, because these swings are way too big and way too offensive. So we're seeing it really come in right now. And the Matadors have a great crew of middles that have been a little hot and cold at times, trying to find their overall effectiveness. And right now, there is no question they are putting in the work, getting the damage done, and looking great while doing it.
Well, they are making an adjustment to the net here as we are between sets 2 and set 3. Do you see any changes forthcoming for either of these squads, or are they going to go back with the horses that got them here?
No, I don't see any reason to change anything at all. I think both of these squads are getting after it. If you're at the side of the Chicago Untouchables, I think there's a little bit of passing you can clean up to get you a little bit back in system and just create consistency. Because right now they're just a little all over the place. They're going from a perfect pass to a little bit out of system. So kind of sorting that one out is a big part of what they've got going on. Now, if you're the Matadors, this is where they thrive. They want high energy, high intensity, almost the high risk, high reward play where they're in there to scrap, to play for the big digs, the flashy plays. Then that ends with a high ball out to a pin after getting a huge dig and letting your big killers like Vanderbeek and Isak put that ball away and just let them handle business. And it's working so well. They're a well-rounded team finding points. So certainly looking good for them. At the very most, I could see a potential outside adjustment given the personnel from the Chicago Untouchables, but I would certainly not put any money on it. And I think Coach Mitch Wiskershin believes in his guys out there to get the job done. And right now, we want to see Schwede return a little bit to form. He had an excellent first set, was an absolute killer out there. So see if he can kind of get right back on that horse. Now that's a big, what I'm asking is quite a bit, because he's already having a great all-around match so far. But, you know, another kill or two may help relieve some of the pressure from some of their other offensive tools and help get them back involved. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But across the board, I think Untouchables is still playing some great ball. Now, I kind of want to make a call back to what I was saying halfway through that match. The Matadors were missing a ton of serves during the first part of that game. In fact, they missed 4 or 5 out of 6 serves. And all the same, they were tied up at 12 or 13 with the Untouchables. So it speaks to how much they were willing to ride and die by their serve right there, because they knew if and when they started to find it, they were going to be able to apply so much pressure, it was going to put them in the driver's seat. With that, they've had Hidalgo find an ace or two. They were able to get so much pressure generated, it really paid off for them. So while you want to hope that if you're the Chicago Untouchables, that you can just ride those missed serves, it ended up backfiring in the sense that they still could not win that game with all those missed serves.
You need to make adjustments to the net here between sets 2 and 3. And not sure if that's a result of all the serves that went into the net, but the players are trying to stay warm here on the sideline. Am I still having problems with my headset? Looks like I am, so I'm going to go silent for a moment.
And I'm going to go right back to it. You guys are running solo with me right now, and this is our production's way of telling Ira Thor, hey man, take a seat. We're doing some personnel changes over here on the sideline. So just give us a moment. We'll get it all sorted out. Just a little bit of the rain outside working its way into the audio from the static here. So we're just going to shore that one up and get you guys all taken care of. But thanks for hanging with us. If you guys are just tuning in, we are between games 2 and 3. A little bit of court maintenance going on. And we're just taking a little breather here. So we're about to get back underway in this best of 5 between the Ontario Matadors and the Chicago Untouchables. Our second match of the day. This one's going to be extremely important, as both of these teams are currently 1 and 3, and this match, whoever gets the win is going to go to a very important 2 and 3. After this, we're going to follow it up with a great match with the OC Stunners taking on the Las Vegas Ramblers. Yesterday afternoon, the Las Vegas Ramblers were able to take down the Utah Stingers. Both teams were 3-0 going into that match, leaving the victorious Ramblers 4-0. OC Stunners had a tough start to event number 1, being 1 and 3. However, they are now being 0 and 3. However, after a huge win for them yesterday against Southern Exposure, they are currently 1 and 3. And there you see on your screen right there a beautiful graphic letting you know exactly what you have to look forward to. If you haven't tuned in just yet, we're running matches every 2.5 hours, so that match will be live at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You do not want to miss out. Once again, fans, if you are in the area, stop by the court. We are out here in Harris Casino in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Not Utah, as I managed to say this morning, as a nod back to after saying that plenty of times back in November. And, you know, we're out here. There's some great volleyball that you can come watch as the mask ban has been lifted in New Jersey. And crowds are starting to form. So for the first time in the NBA in recent time, we are playing in front of a live crowd.
Mask ban if you're vaccinated.
Thank you for the asterisk. I was, you know, as a West Coast guy, wasn't sure on that what that stipulation was.
Talking about a controversy here. You know, you got some people with very strong feelings either way. I am myself fully vaccinated. Yesterday was the 2 weeks, so I'm looking forward to being able to go out to the stadiums again, see some ball games, come here, see some live volleyball. Obviously, a privilege to have the mic in my hands and be able to watch these world-class athletes and call the action alongside Nick England.
Well, so anyone that's tuned in, they're seeing me being very new to the whole broadcasting side. I'm loving the journey. But Ira, this is your first time working with me, with Matt Prosser, with the NBA. Can you give a quick synopsis what your background looks like, so people that aren't sure who you might be, let them know what the man on the mic, what his resume looks like?
I've been in Jersey my whole life. I played many, many years ago at a much lower level than any of you guys did, but former college athletic communications director, spent 20-something years broadcasting the sport. A lot of sports, not just volleyball, soccer, basketball, baseball, but volleyball's always been my first love, and in recent years been a Division I voice out here in the Garden State. And worked with a lot of these coaches, quite frankly, in their collegiate coaching careers. So really nice to know the background. A lot of these players have seen so many of these guys coming up, and really just a pleasure now to see the journey that everyone's taking, that next level of their careers. And personally rooting for a lot of these guys to have long, prosperous careers and see the NVA grow to become something that is a true national sport that folks are interested in watching. You saw the MLS. I think that is the best example. The MLS started from humble means and over 25 years grew to become a major sport in this country that's selling out arenas, and there's no reason that volleyball cannot be that next sport to have that big national gains.
Well, we're going to get back into the action, but Ira, I'm so glad they're here to join the team in our journey and our commitment to our fans to provide high-level production value and getting the very best that we can. So bringing in constant pros like yourself is what it's all about. We appreciate you all the same. So thank you for joining us, and let's get right back into it. We're sitting here at 4-2 lead. Matadors picking it up right where they left it off. And that's going to be Brett Massetti coming back into the match here as a middle, replacing Martin Patrice.
Yeah, Brett Massetti out of Hope International University. Very good NAIA program out there on the West Coast, the 6'5" native Beaumont, California. And we talked about potential personnel changes. That is one so far, and we'll see if he makes a difference here for the Matadors. And that is through the block, finding a way through the hands of both Nugent and Buffum. And it is a 5-3 lead for the Matadors. And the hands of Vanderbeek. See the ball fly. And it is getting loud here. Some good matches on these adjacent courts. It's hard to even hear what's going on in our own matches. That's high off the hands. Put away for the Matadors. Serrano gets the kill. 6-3 Matadors in front. There are two are right behind where Vanderbeek. You can see the two adjacent courts. It's like that throughout this huge ballroom convention center in Atlantic City. Off the tape, Cap was there, and Nugent is blocked.
We're 7-3. We're seeing a lot of rhythm getting developed right now between the blockers on the side of the Ontario Matadors, and that's going to be something that the Untouchables have to figure out a solution for. Triple blocks going over all over the place.
So the Matadors, with Vanderbeek serving, starting to pull away here early in set number 3. They go back to Nugent, and same result. It is a triple block as Serrano, Isaac, and Cruz all involved. Timeout, technical timeout. It's 8-3.
And that's really just the powerhouse right there. We're seeing back-to-back triple blocks, getting huge dividends to pay in there for the Matadors. And like I said earlier, if you can't block at this level, don't bother playing. But at the same time, you know, if you're getting big blocks like that, the match could be over real quick. So Chicago Untouchables, they really need to find a pass, because when you're seeing blocks like that, triple blocks are usually an indicator that passing is not going the way you want. Passes are going out of system, so there's really only one option, and it's a high ball to the pin. And that's allowing for the Matadors to see what's going on early, get a good movement together as a block, and talk about it. So it's going great for them. But again, that all starts with great service pressure and attacking exactly who they want. So while they were willing in game 2 to miss some of those serves while they got dialed in, that pressure right now is paying off greatly. Once again, Vanderbeek, one of those guys with a variety of serves. He's got a ton of different looks. Right now he's opting for that float serve. He likes to bring it cross court about 17-foot line and just put it in front of your front row outsides, make them step in and pass before they hit. It's a great strategy, and while his serve certainly has some pace and great movement, the location is what makes it so hard to handle. So we'll see what he goes for here, but I would expect him to attack Milnazik and Nugent.
Huge point in this set here for Chicago. Cap goes back to Nugent. Dug up in the back row poked. I think there was a net violation. It's really even hard to hear it's a doubles, what's going to be the official call from Kevin Ball, but it's hard to hear any whistles. It's so loud in here right now.
Yeah, this is unfortunately a really tough call. So Serrano said it, I saw it, the ball went tight. Milnazic actually hit his hand. So they called a double, but Milnazic did not get called there. He hit Serrano's hand, so it came out a little dirty, and Serrano even said it there, but you got to play the game.
And off the hands of the block, Cruz gets the kill, as it is now 9-4. The Matadors hanging on to this 5-point lead. Such a hard number to come back from. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. That 4-point threshold is really where it gets a little challenging. Cross court, that'll help, as finding the slot was Milnazic for the winner.
Really is the case, and one of the biggest things that we talk about, Matt Prosser will be joining us again shortly, catching a quick breather after that five-set nail biter earlier, but he's an ex-Cal State Long Beach NCAA middle blocker and ex-AVP player. He understands blocking with the best of them. One of the things he always talks about is identifying exactly where to make your adjustments, how to do it in the middle of a game, in the middle of timeouts, things like that. And you've got to understand that Milnazic swings angle. You've got to force him to make some adjustments, and that really starts with the pin blockers bringing their block another 1.5 foot inside, letting Cruz and Massetti get all the way out to you, but they're going to chase to wherever you set the block. That's your responsibility as a pin blocker, so it's on Serrano to make that adjustment right now.
Matt had 16 blocks in a match against Loyola Marymount during his college days at Long Beach State. That is still a record more than 20 years later. So wow. Matt certainly understands blocking.
And we're seeing Vanderbeek, number 17, the all-star right there, who understands swinging. That's a huge D-ball. The cameramen already knew where to be looking, and that's who you should be watching if you're a fan of the Ontario Matadors. The dynamic duo on the pin of Vanderbeek and Isek is a real powerhouse team to watch.
And Milnazic was able to put that one away, so still a 4-point lead, but Chicago is maintaining its chance to come back here in the third set by getting the side out cap. Tough server will serve. He is standing just in front of Carl France, sitting in the chair there on the right, the new head coach of Fairleigh Dickinson University, which is launching a Division I program, as that is put away. Kill for Massetti. Fairleigh Dickinson, one of the brand new Division I programs that's been launched in this part of the country. St. Francis Brooklyn a couple years ago as well. So the sport is continuing to grow out here on the East Coast. Tournaments like this certainly will help the cause. As a free ball opportunity, Massetti didn't even need the jump, just tipped it where no one was.
Talked about it yesterday. Everyone always wants to get a big arm out and take a big slam swing, but right there, Massetti just sees an open hole and saved that swing for another day. Just goes ahead and redirects the ball. Easy point.
It's about scoring the point. Doesn't always have to be a highlight reel caliber play, as that finds the court, put away by Bolanzik. And it is 12-7, so back to a 5-point deficit. And we'll see if Jake Milnazic has a chance here to draw Chicago closer. Chicago won the first set as they dry up some moisture on the court. The Matadors, well, they battled back as their name would suggest here in game number 2. And as the moisture is cleaned up, all about player safety. Chicago, see if they can get some points off of the service game. That is long.
So the answer would be no. Well, they can certainly give the points, but not get them for themselves. So that's a tough one, and especially with Hidalgo going to the back line, someone that's already picked up multiple aces this match. He might be small, but he's got firepower. The cracker out of bringing that firecracker swing out of Lima, Peru, puts Chicago Untouchables completely out of system.
Nearly falls in. Are they able to save it? They send it over. Does Serrano. Chance here in system. Oh, destroyed. Put away by Bolanzik. Well, those free ball opportunities, you see what happens. Obviously, if you're the Matadors, you just want to extend the play, but Chicago would take that all day if they could.
Certainly will, and that's all about being in system. We'll see if Bolonzic's able to generate some positive points here.
Another tight set. Oh, stuffed there. Reach out and stuff someone. Kyle Schwede.
That man is so full of energy, and that's honestly so important. The Chicago Untouchables team was getting a little bit down at the last event, trying to find a little bit of their rhythm and a little bit of their groove. But now that they've got some of this going, a little bit of that positive energy, it keeps the guys feeling, dialed in and making sure they're not losing track. Here's one of those stacks we talked about earlier. So they're going to number 4.
Not a great pass at all. Swinging away, reading it well on the pass was Mlazic. Schwede swings away, running it down is Malero, and they send it over. Here's a chance in the middle. Oh, it's dug up, cannot take advantage. Blocked back, covered by Serrano. 5th opportunity. Will this be the one? No, I don't think that went over, quite frankly. They play on, and ultimately coming through was Thor. Vanderbeek gets the winner.
It was only a matter of time. So many great blocking moves made by the Untouchables there, but the offense of the Matadors was unrelenting.
Longest rally of the match thus far, and the lead back to 5. Touches the tape. They go right side. Schwede, thunder! And he brings it down the line. Big side out to remain a 4-point deficit, 14-10.
Integral time for him to hit that swing. They definitely needed that, and they've got to be able to string a couple points together here to get back in this one.
So Schwede, see if you can help out in the service game. Bump set, red well dug up by Rosa. They go to Nugent, and he tools the block.
And we talk about it, we introduced the concept of screening, and I keep trying to just call it out when there's an opportunity to learn about it for our viewers at home. Take a look right now. You can see exactly where they're going to serve for the Untouchables. They're screening and standing right in front of Hidalgo. Every serve is going straight at them. They know what their strategy is, and they're executing. You see all 3 off of Buffin. You got Mlazic on the left, and that one goes just right, but strategy's the same, all the same.
They send it deep. Oh, Cap swings away, and he wants that one back. He tried to get crafty, and he just missed. It was the right idea, just couldn't get the execution.
And that's where you love having a lefty setter as opposed, that's a hard turn for a righty to hit that far off the net. A lefty might be able to crack that one. So tough move there for Cap. But Vanderbeek's going to get the serving opportunity all the same.
They go back to the middle, off of the shoulder of Hidalgo, and the put away for the Matadors. And that takes us to our second technical timeout as the Matadors, they refuse to go away. Every time it looks like Chicago's going to get a break, the Matadors are finding their offensive game. And let me tell you, Chicago, I don't know if they're starting to get a little frustrated, but every time it looks like they're going to have a chance to get back in this match, the Matadors have been able to find an answer. And they are a team that, you see so much fight yesterday. They could have come in today after having the ball blocked back 15, 16 times. No, they're playing as if yesterday never happened.
They are, and yesterday felt a little uncharacteristic. Again, I love to have big talks about how teams are doing in the standings, but sometimes you need to remove that number because it can overshadow of teams, how they're really playing. And if you watch the Ontario Matadors in event number 1, they're a stellar team that plays some of the best defense in the league. And right now we're seeing that return to form. Malero has been lights out. We're seeing Massetti, Cruz, and Patrice, all 3 middles, putting in work no matter who's on the court, getting great block touches, and they're really slowing it down. Also at the same time, we're seeing Isek and Hidalgo getting some great digs back row. And, just all around, everyone contributing. So as a pin-centric team with Vanderbeek and Isek as your main guys, they're just more than happy to battle it out, scrap it out, and then throw up the high ball. Like I said earlier, it works well, and now they're finding themselves in a controlling spot as a result.
Free ball opportunity off of the serve, and then he free balled right back. Cannot keep it alive, and Rosa disagrees, but 2 free balls, neither side could capitalize. Ultimately, it's the Matadors who do, and Cap is going to argue the case. I don't think Rosa got a hand on that one. You see the 2 liberos get together underneath the net, slapping hands.
Both from Puerto Rico originally. I'm curious what their background's like if they know each other. But that's an out serve. I think the refs got that last call pretty dead on. I don't think that Rosa got under that one, like you said.
No, I think he tried to sell it like, you know, mind games. You got to have a little mind games here.
Yeah, it is, but at the same time, Cap, being the captain, willing to discuss it, what that can do sometimes is get a little bit of a fake, like a faux timeout.
Cap involved with that one. The Great Wall comes down as he combines with Buffum for the stuff. It was a 7-point lead for the Matadors. It is back to 4, so Dan Nugent to serve, and Chicago, I thought Buffett would swing there. He does that time. Oh, my. Buffum, annihilation.
Wow.
I thought Buffum had initially made a mistake not swinging initially. Maybe he had something a little bit more robust in mind.
The old fake swing, fake set, real swing, point.
That is dug up by Rosa, running it down his Cap. And blocked back, they answer. The combo block by Serrano along with Cruz. The crucial side out for the Matadors. Could have been a 2-point swing there instead of being 17-15,
and that's what we talk about.
18-14.
That's what we talk about as an important blocking adjustment. They bring that block inside, take away that angle, and Milnazic doesn't quite make the adjustment he needs to.
They go outside again, tooling the block, getting right back in the hands of Milnazic, who whips that one. So after that safety announcement, you probably heard in our background, 18-15. It is packed here in Atlantic City. The whip is long as he swung hard at that one, but couldn't find a way to hit the court, and it is a 2-point game. Just like that, Chicago not going away.
He unloaded on that ball.
Free ball opportunity. They go outside, and cross court gets it on the tight angle. Put away by Jake Milnazic.
There was a really close one. I was watching the players there. Cap looked like he might have or almost touched that ball, the first ball coming over, and that's what the Matadors were looking to see if they were going to get a 4-contact call. But just like that, the Chicago Untouchables have been able to shore up some of their mistakes, get a little bit of the energy and momentum back on their side, and they are making a run at this one late here in the third.
We talked about yesterday, and I forget which match it is because the days start to blend together, but just how difficult it is to, once you fall behind by more than 4, to be able to rally back. But Chicago, short memory, that's for sure. They were down 7 points, and now, well, they're a good play away from evening this up midway through game number 3. What do you talk about if you're the Matadors here to try to slow down this Chicago squad that won't go away?
Well, I think the big thing is really just, once again, getting back in the flow of your serve receive, because you need to be able to reestablish your middles a little bit. I mean, your pin hitters are going to get camped the way that this offense runs, and that's okay. It is what it is. Those guys can battle with that and handle it, but you need to get back into that comfortable serve receive. Hidalgo and Mulero take a lot of the balls if they can, so that Isek is able to swing out. So we'll see if they can get back into it.
Oh, that's one way to answer, as that is put away in the middle. 19-17 Matadors in front. They get the side out, so a useful timeout by the team in maroon.
And that's exactly what we're talking about. A good pass, get the middle reestablished, see if they can help back open up the pins here as Vanderbeek and Isek rotate back around.
Taking a little something off that was Cruz, and not able to run it down, as that ball is put away by the 7-footer, Bolanzik. Ian Cap to serve to try to tie this one up. Best server on this squad. 19-18 here in game 3.
Couldn't ask for a better guy to be on the service line right now. Oh no, that's 2.
He went for it, he just missed. And it's 20-18.
Anytime though, Cap's a guy that will win you the match by serving. So the score does not matter. You let him crank that as hard as he can.
So a 2-point lead for the Matadors. Serrano to serve. Good pass for Chicago, but reading it well to pick it up was Serrano. Blocked back here. Another chance for the Matadors. Right side, Vanderbeek. And sending it over is the Matadors. One more time, right side, putting it down the line. Reading it was Ezek. Another long rally. Oh, Nugent couldn't handle it. Nugent with his heels on the back line. That attack ate him up.
And that was one of the best rallies we've seen. Mulero going all out. In the middle of that play, he went so far out of the right side of the court, he couldn't get back to left back defense. Isek sees that, shifts into left back. You see Mulero go into middle back, and then once Mauru's in left back, he gets another dig out of position, but certainly willing to make the swap. That is what high-level volleyball is all about, and it's these little details that can be so hard to see if you don't know what you're looking for, but that's what these players, these systems, these practices, they pay off because those guys knew immediately what they should be looking for and how they can help each other out, and it pays off majorly, forcing another timeout from the Untouchables here.
You talk about watching film so much in sports. At this level where these games are all televised and so many of these players know each other from training, how much is that history of being able to know the tendencies of the other players, either from film or just from training, come in hand?
It's everything. I grew up as a player I didn't understand the importance of that, and I've only understood it as I get into my late 20s, and now I'm running more of the organization with the Ramblers. But doing the broadcast side, I watch every match. I talk about every point. I can identify what every hitter likes to do as tendencies. As a result, my scouting reports when I'm talking with the Ramblers, it's good. It matters. And seeing these teams, if players are willing to do their homework, it pays off in leaps and bounds.
Joust at the net, and they're saying Chicago with the violation.
Yeah, that looked like a good call to me. That ball was not yet over the net. I think it would have gone to the point that it would have allowed for Milnazic. I think he got there a tad early, and that's just one of those small mistakes that it's really hard for the depth perception to tell, so you're kind of just going off of your best guess. And
mistimed it by a split second. They go back. Oh, blasted away. Put away by Jake Milnazic. After the error, he immediately forgets that previous moment and gets the highlight. 22-19, not done yet in Chicago. We've already seen them battle back from a deep deficit once. Do they have another? Well, we'll find out after they wipe up the court.
And that's actually what I want to talk about. When you talk about pacing, understanding the speed of the game, the flow of the game, there's a couple little things that you'll see experienced players do. And so timeouts are used to obviously try to ice servers, have a talk, but sometimes you just need to slow things down. That's where you'll see sometimes shoelaces accidentally come untied. You'll see a little bit of sweat on the court that needs to get wiped down. You'll see a variety of things like that, maybe a discussion about a call. And it's an effort to ice other players, give your guys a breather. And these are pro moves of guys trying to bring the game back in their favor any way they can.
Dug up there by Rosa, swinging away. Oh, authority put away by Schwede, who comes through in a key spot. And it's 22-20, so back-to-back points here for Chicago. And those mental games you talked about, you see it come into fruition here, but Chicago not letting themselves be phased. Another big serve. Miscommunication, and it falls in.
Built a campfire, everyone popped up their chairs, put their hands out, and they were ready for a nice little s'mores session there as that ball landed right in the middle. No one moved an inch.
Did you watch that? All three guys just looked at each other and no one took charge. That is a mistake you cannot make at this juncture of a match. Could you do it in the first couple points of a set? Not ideally, but you can get away with it. At this point in the match, that could be a fatal mistake in this third game. Now a 1-point set. It was a 5-point game just a moment ago.
Yep, and now the Chicago Untouchables right back on top. We got a chance to hear Schwade's name as he got a kill contribution. We haven't heard that one in a little bit, but he is the team heart over there. You see number 11 patting everyone on the back. He is dialed in. He knows how to get his guys going, keeping the energy high, letting Coach Mitch Wiskerson take care of, steering the ship from the helm over on the sidelines, wearing that beautiful Chicago Untouchables gear. If you don't follow the Chicago Untouchables or the Matadors on Instagram, be sure to do so. Chicago Untouchables just closed their online store, and it should be reopening again soon, always giving their fans a chance to rep the Windy City.
I love these logos. That could be another conversation about how we got them. We'll save that for another episode of England's Insights. But a chance to tie it here, and the serve just long by Jake Mlnazic.
Well, hey, whenever you want to know the story behind the Chicago Untouchables, maybe that's a between game, but that's a fun one all the same. So more than happy to share that insight.
That'll come between sets, and they give it right back as Hidalgo, Alvaro Hidalgo had a chance to separate there. Back to a 1-point game, 23-22. Serving is Paul Bolanczyk. Keeping that one alive was Chicago. Free ball opportunity, they send it deep down the line. Oh! Dropping the hammer was Thor Vanderbeek down the line for the kill at its set point.
The man does not fail to deliver. He is absolutely clutch. What a great swing down the line. And there he is, forcing the timeout. Great, great efforts from him.
24-22, the first set point for Ontario. The Matadors looking to take a 2-1 lead in this match. Of course, this is just our second match of the day. So much more volleyball to play at approximately 2 p.m. It'll be the Stunners against the Ramblers. That'll be a good one. Stunners had a great blocking effort yesterday, and of course, the Ramblers proving that they might be a title contender.
Yeah, these teams are certainly, we always talk about trying to predict exactly where this is going to go, but this one is I couldn't make a call if you asked me. I just want to see the teams continue to upgrade, level up, and keep playing as a team, because we're really seeing some new rosters develop that identity, get back to the way that they want to play the game. And so that's really my hope and desire right now. I want to see these teams execute in a way they're proud of, but we're getting right back into the action.
Set point here for the Matadors. And there you have it. The double stuff coming through is Cruz and Ezek. And taking game number 3, the Matadors 25-22. Same score as set number 2. And they have a 2-1 lead in the match. Chicago, well, they showed some fight. As Nick, they were down by hefty margins twice in that set. Battled back, just couldn't get over the top. How much does that affect their psyche going into game 4?
It's a gut check for sure, but as a team that's battling in at that 1-3, they've really got to be able to, they've got to show us and their team as well. What are they ready to get done? What can they do? And we're going to take one quick break from the match. And what we've got going on right now on the court, the NVA always about providing a fan-first experience. So right now we're bringing in some of the local boys' talent from that's here in the gym, giving them an opportunity to do some serving and see if they can win some local NVA gear. So there's some shirts being put out on the court. We're going to see a little shot here. In a minute, they're going to get it underway, and these guys are going to start serving the ball and see if they're able to win themselves some NVA gear. If you're not here in the gym, be sure to check out NVAUSA.com. There's an online store that'll be up soon, if it's not already, as well as the Instagram account for the NVA USA and all of the individual teams. Teams are starting to create amazing gear like the stuff you're seeing out here, and it's a great way to get involved and support your team. that's a huge part of what it is to grow this league and make sure that we're able to travel our athletes and our 20-man rosters to events, and that the the team is able to be self-sustaining and take care of itself. So support your local team, and they're there to provide you some great entertainment, as we are all weekend long here at Harris Casino in Atlantic City, New Jersey.
I always found this to be a fun contest. See how accurate your serving really is. No need to jump serve here. Going for accuracy, and we got ourselves our first winner right on the t-shirt. It's nice to actually see the libero for the Matadors, Jose Molero, get involved as well. He's some of the most approachable athletes you'll ever find.
And there's another hit, and that's what it's all about. You talk about being approachable. If you guys get a chance to be at any of these NBA events, any guy on any roster is always more than happy to talk about what their experience is like. They want to share in their journey, because everyone has their own story, whether you're playing at a college club level, at an NAIA, maybe a D1, 2, or 3 level, or some guys played community college, whatever it might be. Every one of these athletes from all over the world has a different story to how they got to where they are today. But there is one constant, and that is their love for the sport and their desire to improve as a player. There's so many ways to make a name for yourself and be involved in the league, whether it be as a fan or as a player, support staff. There are so many opportunities that if you want to impact this sport, this league, now is the time. We've got another hit, and another one of our fans gets a chance to rep some awesome NVA gear.
Something to be noted is that these aren't million-dollar athletes living on private islands in South Florida. They're just like you and I, living in neighborhoods near you and part of their community. And one thing that I've noticed through sports and leagues that have grown over the years, we talked about the approachability. I think the NWSL women's soccer is a great example. So involved in their communities, involved with clinics and teaching the next generation the sport, and that is certainly going on this weekend and throughout the NBA. And so many of these athletes are coaches when they're not competing themselves, high school, collegiate, club, whatever it may be, and that is so essential for the growth of the sport.
It really is, and I talked a little bit about that in the last set. What's very interesting, and I've heard several big names talk about it, you get your Pat McAfee, one of the famed punters from the NFL that has gone over and done his own talk shows. He's talked about one of the weird dichotomies that when you get to guys that have been playing in a league for 15 years, they've been playing the sport as long as their head coaches have been coaching them. So sometimes while the coach might have coach in his name and title, some of those players know just as well, if not better, about a certain skill set. And so when you've got 6 to 7 coaches per team at college levels, at high school club levels, high school levels, all of these guys have a variety of approaches, and together they dynamically problem solve on the fly. So we're going to see a little bit of that from the Chicago Untouchables as this gets underway. Now, I talked about it a little bit, their name, where they come from. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a history lesson here. So the Chicago Untouchables name, when that team was getting founded, we wanted to find something that was rich in the Windy City history. And so the Untouchables is the group of, working with the Bureau of Prohibition in the 1930s. It's a group of people that were created to fight back against Al Capone and the rum runners that were, they were basically, it was a group that was created to shut him down. And they were successful in doing so. So it's a rich part of such a historical city here in the U.S. It's an awesome name, and it really lends so much, homage to a great city that's part of the huge U.S. culture.
That is one of the best England's insights of the entire weekend. A little history lesson as well. And I'll tell you what, the city of Chicago, so much great talent comes out of there. It is a city that has produced so many great, first of all, on the collegiate level, the rise of schools like Lewis and Loyola Chicago.
Yep.
And on the Division III level, the Dominicans of the world. Carthage isn't too far away from that. Carthage just won the Division III national title, ran the table, went undefeated. They're obviously in Wisconsin. But so much talent in that part of the country, and it's just natural that you have a team in Chicago as one of the foundation members of this league.
Even the Chicagoland NAIA region, I mean, that's just another circuit of schools that are making sure athletes get a chance to play at that next level. So if you guys haven't already, be sure to check out the Midwest Volleyball because they are coming.
And I can't forget Purdue and IPFW, and there's a couple other really great programs out that way. Lewis obviously being probably the most well-known, as they've made some deep runs in the NCAAs over the years.
Well, that's the little history check we've got going on. And for right now, a little quick game check as we are in the fourth set, 2-1, Matadors up, and Untouchables with a 1-0 lead with Cap serving.
Cap with the ace. Oh, you set that up so nicely, Nick, as Cap drops the cap there. 2-0. I believe that's his third ace of the match.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's actually the #1 ace leader in the league after 2 matches. He did not even attend the first event, and I think he's leading the league in aces.
He leaves it short there, but a good quick start for Chicago. Got to win this set or the Matadors will escape with the victory, and both teams, well, played interesting matches yesterday. Chicago getting the W they needed to get off the snide for the season. Cross court, bringing it with the left hand as dropping that was Schwede.
A lefty swinging on the left side of the court into a triple block is a matchup I wish upon no-hitter. But he's able to find his hole and deliver all the same. Hidalgo right now looks to be the target of a Milnazic jump serve.
And
or the net.
Short again.
Sometimes that's, like we said, that's one of those unfortunate parts of trying to serve aggressive, but we saw the Matadors make a bunch of service errors and still come back and win that second set. So sometimes it's the case, but, great athletes are going to make great plays all the same. Been saying that all day long, and it's still proven true here.
Served by Brett Massetti. Nugent, did he get the touch? He did not, as he misses wide. Now, Nugent is definitely a player who has made a difference in the state of New Jersey, and we'll see if he's able to do the same on this Chicago squad. And really, one day would love to see him and his brother matched up on the court here. They go in the middle, and dropping it in with the kill is Paul Bolanzik, and it's 4-3.
Gets after that. Now you'll notice one thing to keep an eye on, you're talking about Chris Nugent. Right now, he is actually being rotated out of serve receive, and Milnazic and Rosa are running a 2-man serve receive. So let's keep an eye on that and see if that's just a one rotation thing or if they're using it in general.
They go in the middle, solo put back. Another chance here for the Matadors. Vanderbeek sends it high, running it down. Oh, what a save there by the Untouchables. Diving dig in the back, in the middle, blocked back solo stuff by Gabriel Cruz.
Wow, if you watch his hands on that move, if you're watching on YouTube, you can watch it back right away. We don't have a live replay just yet, but there was a quick hand move to see where that swing was going from Buffum. Cruz gets his hands in there, drops it in, takes away the angle, and that's a huge block for the side of the Ontario Matadors.
So even at 4, Vanderbeek to serve. Well, in the second opportunity, Buffum, he goes a different direction, and he delivers, and it's 5-4 side out. And we'll see Kyle Schwede to serve, the 6'5", Gurney, Illinois native. Starts on the right side, instead moves over to the left, utilizing the screen that you have talked so poetically about. Big left-handed toss, leaves it short.
Right now there is a net, I think that's a little bit higher when Chicago Untouchables tries to serve, because that is 3 in a quick succession into the net from Schwede, Cap, and Milnazic. Got to see a little more.
All square at 5, as the server is Moro Izik. Big serve from Izik, but a better pass. Poked to space, Malero's there. They go right side, Vanderbeek from the back row. Was it a back row attacker? It was. He was a step over the 10-meter, or the 10-foot line, the 3-meter line, if you like the metric system. And Dan Nugent will serve 6-5. Dan Nugent led Fairlawn High School here in New Jersey. It's about a 2-hour drive north of us to the 2011 New Jersey State title. As that is blocked by Cap and Buffum. And Nugent brought Fairlawn the first state championship They're a longtime New Jersey power since 1995. I just happened to be on that team in 1995 that won the previous state title. So, so Nugent with the bragging rights, though. He's done it more recently. As that slots its way through, Vanderbeek with the winner. No foot fault this time.
What an absolute powerhouse swing, able to move the hands he needs out of the way to get the kill that he wants.
Yeah, Dan and his brother Chris both will be Hall of Famers at their alma mater. I'm actually on that committee, the Hall of Fame committee, for the first time, so it'll actually be a great day when I see their names come across.
Sounds like you're a little bit biased.
I have certain players that I would like to see be successful.
I'm just giving you a hard time. And you know,
I will say this, though. We did have that 1972 Dolphins moment, because when they were playing for that first state title in 2011, we all texted each other. It was like, do we root for them to win, or do we want to be the only team that's got a trophy? Ultimately, you want to see your guys win, even if it's not you.
Absolutely, and it's interesting to see how that works. I mean, so much of the volleyball at this level, when you're finding the guys you can rely on, guys that you know, their skill set, their attitude, everything you need to know about them, looking back through fabled programs that you know is an integral part. And that's where I found our setter for the Ramblers, Michael Keegan. When I was at UC Irvine as a senior, I was driving down an hour and a half to San Diego every day to be a JV coach at my high school. Found him, and I was actually coaching his younger brother. Got to coach alongside of the assistant coach at UCSD, John Gurton. And that's where we had Michael Keegan was the setter for them, as well as Matt Youngren, who went on to be a UC Irvine and UCLA powerhouse middle. And now we see Noli Mon, a setter out of the LA Blaze, who was the freshman coach alongside me when I was the JV coach. So we got a couple guys from Mount Carmel High School in San Diego. Shout out to those guys down there, 3 of us in the league.
And some of those guys will eventually discover that next generation of talent that will play in the NBA.
Wow, great
Shout
hands
to the
there by
net
Polonczyk.
And annihilated. Oh, authority, Jake Monazic. After the joust goes right back to them, he's like, no, there won't be a third opportunity.
We're going to shut this one down right now, and that's going to be a 3-point lead, 9-6, with Matt Buffum on the back line.
So Buffum serving the little floater. They go to Vanderbeek, and I think he's going to get this one to go in. Vanderbeek, you saw him look down for a split second to see where his footwork was. I think that gets in your head after committing the first foot fault, but a useful spot in the back and a much-needed side out for the Matadors. 2-point game.
Thor's control playing off for him there, and even Thor has a little bit of finesse when swinging the hammer every now and then.
And he is a fun player to watch, that's for sure. And missing just long was Jesus Serrano.
We all good over here? Got some rogue volleyballs flying in, bouncing around, making sure the production crew is all awake still, and I think we are good. The equipment is good, and we are back at it.
And another jumper by Cap. I think that's 4 of his last 5 serves, if I remember correctly.
Definitely is. It's one of the most struggled performances we've seen from Cap.
And he had been the leader for Chicago. See if he's able to get that serve back. Great set, though, by Cap. That is blocked back, and it's going to fall in. So a triple block there. Most of the credit going to Massetti and Vanderbeek. Also have to mention Ezek, because he did come over to contribute. And it's a 1-point set, 10-9. And serving here will be Alvaro Hidalgo.
He's been crushing serves all match.
Off the tape. They go outside and put away. Another kill by Kyle Schwede. Schwede with a big left-handed swing for the 2-point lead.
Quick shout out to Rosa there. He made a big move reading the serve initially. It hit the tape, and he made a second move to get his platform on that ball. Got a great touch. Cap delivers some gold to the outside.
That also tickled the tape, and it's going to fall in for the ace.
There's a streak for you they're going to have to clear up from Vanderbeek's aggressive move. That's a solid 8-foot river running. See if they get that one cleaned up, or if they just disregards it off the court. All right.
Well, I guess you don't want to be standing there anyway, so if you're running there, things probably aren't great anyway. Big time serve coming towards us. Vanderbeek flies through the air so gracefully, but they cannot deliver.
And we're seeing a little bit of a switch up here as we're seeing number 9 is coming in, and we saw Mario Mesa going in from Milero, seeing if they could get a little bit more of a different look during defense potentially there.
Great play by Vanderbeek to give the Matadors a chance. They go back to Vanderbeek, off the block for the kill.
And that's going to be number 9, George Cabrera, coming in as a substitution for Hidalgo. Probably looking for a little bit more size, see if they can get something producing. So it'll be interesting to see if they keep him as a permanent substitution or if this is maybe just a back row substitution, as Hidalgo has been the target of many, many serves so far.
San Diego native, that is put away by Nugent. Dan Nugent with the winner.
And that was a quick reminder, if you're here in the stands, got to have your head on a swivel. Anytime you're looking down at your phone, you are in a danger zone. And in the SeaWorld, you would be over in the splash zone. Here, you're just got to be watching out for some of those head-hunting volleyballs.
You never know when it's going to land in your lap. 4-point lead. And unable to dig that one up was Monazic, so the Matadors with the side out. They trail by 3. And Vanderbeek, who's been arguably the best all-around player so far in this match, well, he's got the ball in his hands. One-handed, poked over by Chicago. Vanderbeek from the back row gets it to fall.
He's literally unstoppable. If he touches the ball, the rally is just seeming like it's ending right now. It's incredible. A great bump set, and Milero knew right then he was more than happy to go to number 17, his answer to every problem right now.
Well, that's going to be a free ball right back and dug up on the attack by Cruz. Third opportunity. Once again, Chicago's there. And Schwady, that's going to fall in. Valiant effort by Milero to get over to get a hand on it, but was unable to keep it alive, and he looks like he's banged up after landing hard.
He got kicked in the head, actually, by someone turning on the block. Either kicked or hit when someone tried to pick up the second touch there as he got that pancake. So we're going to take a breather here. That's a tough one for him. Give him a second. Hopefully he's okay and good to go. Might need a little bit of a breather bringing in Mario Meza. But he's going to tough it out all the same.
He's flexing the back of his neck, which is where he may have been kicked. They're going to wipe up that part of the floor. Great effort by Milero. Quite frankly, he laid out completely horizontally to the floor.
While we talk about libero efforts, I mean, can you believe on the Chicago Untouchables, we're seeing Rosa, there's an overpass that he makes, big move, but he overpasses the ball and they slam it back at him. His back is on the ground and he overhand digs the ball again, refusing to let it go down. That's a phenomenal effort by him to get that point.
How that doesn't break his wrists, we'll never know. As that is slotted through the block, another kill in a timely fashion by Ezek to cut it to 2, and he will serve after getting the side out, 15-13. And the river of Vanderbeek still is on the court.
Yeah.
In the middle, blocked back, and sent over. It's going to fall in off the block.
Cruz reaches back there, adds a first touch that both the reacting Vanderbeek and Milero were not ready for there. A little bit unexpected, and you can see both of them looking at him like, come on, man. Rule number 1, you don't reach back.
So we reach our second technical timeout as the Untouchables are trying to force our second 5-setter of the morning. Oh, we got 3 others that follow this today.
Yeah, the day is still young, and if you've been tuning in with us from the beginning, we got plenty more great matches. Once again, up next is going to be the OC Stunners taking on the Las Vegas Ramblers. And if you enjoyed seeing 7-foot middle Paul Blanzik over here, well, you're going to see 6'11" middle blocker Sean Dennis out of UC Irvine, recent grad for the Las Vegas Ramblers, and probably the most lethal group of middles in the entire league from the OC Stunners. They've got the names like Nick Amato, two-time champion from Long Beach State. They've got Nick West, a veteran from UC Irvine and Hawaii, played overseas professionally for several years. They've got middle blocker Shane Beamer, who's just coming off of a crazy good season over in Denmark, voted the #1 middle in the league. So there is so much experience, and Kevin Gear isn't here this weekend, but another Nittany Lion on that roster.
Oh, after Nugent serves it, putting it away were the Matadors, as Cabrera, the opposite who just came in, was able to get the side out. So 2-point lead here for Chicago, ball in the hands of Gabriel Cruz, the middle. They go outside, cross court, smash, put away by number 9, Jake Monazic. And a timely answer, 17-14.
If you don't put a well-formed block up in front of him that takes away his angle, he's just going to keep hitting it, and that's a great swing there. Going 4-4 from Milnazic.
They go back row again to Vanderbeek. This time they get a touch. Poke in open space, and Vanderbeek runs it down and then sent over by Serrano. Oh, he's happy with that one. Didn't even look at the court. I try to look up at the center when they do that to see if they have that quick glance. He just knew where to put it. That is just muscle memory.
Well, I mean, also Vanderbeek took out half the offense by himself to pick that up. As he comes through, gets the platform dig, he runs in front of the middle, he runs in front of the outside and out the left front of the court because he had so much momentum going. He either ran under the net or out the side of the court, obviously picking outside of the court, and a heroic defensive effort for him right there.
Vanderbeek came all the way from his heels just on the back. Vanderbeek came just from his heels on the back touchline all the way up to cover that. Woo! Oh! Annihilation on the right side. Nothing you could do if you're poor Jose Malero there. As Chicago gets the answer, and I forgot for a second that I don't have a headset on as I had the mic down.
That's why we're here. We make it work.
You got to come up with a plan B sometimes. Big time serve. Better pass by Vanderbeek. Blocked back. Vanderbeek runs it down again. And they send it over. Chance here for the Untouchables. In the middle. Straight down. Oh, Paul Bolanzik. Bolanzik slugs it down the 7-footer. And it's 19-15. Largest lead here midway through for Chicago in Game 4.
Wow. I mean, sometimes you see those guys that have the hype, but they don't have the coordination. They don't have the power. That man has a cannon. He throttles that ball into the hard angle. Cuts that one right in front of the 10-foot line. Also note, Vanderbeek is currently passing. They're running a 4-man serve receive, so you mentioned that he passed that last ball. That was intentional, not an accident, and he is a great passer, even as an opposite.
Cap, that's going to be an ace. Cap gets it back. Big time to unleash the cannon.
I say he's a great passer, but I mean, it doesn't matter if you're the best passer in the gym. When Cap finally finds the rhythm he's been looking for after those 4 missed serves, he crushed that ball down the line.
I don't know what you do about a serve like that. If you're a receiver, that's not going to work in your favor most of the time.
No, and that's why they've actually gone to the 4-man serve receive there, because when Cap is on, he attacks a lot of seams. So the belief is there that you're shoring up and closing up a lot of those available seams by putting 4 guys in serve receive. Also Hidalgo, who's been a little bit rusty in the back row there, you're bringing in Vanderbeek to help remove some of his responsibility to pass. So that's why they're doing it. It minimizes the amount of movement. You basically can just stand where you are and reach left and right, and you're going to take any seam that serve could hit. The problem is when it hits you with the speed that did, you're not even passing. You're digging at that point, and you've got to just lean back, get your arms open, and see if you can pop that one up in the middle of the court, because anything inside 15 feet is a win on a serve like that.
Nick and I have only been working together for a little bit over a day, and he's already reading my mind because my next question was going to be about the importance of seams on jump serves, and he pretty much answered it without me even having to utter a word. So after the timeout, Cap, we'll see if he can find another. Oh, the tape, but on the wrong side.
There was an audible reaction to that miss because everyone thought that was going over. There was a sigh of relief from the Matadors, and the entire Chicago Untouchables bench keeled over thinking they might get the lucky bounce.
That could have been a dagger here in set 4. Instead, Matadors try to answer. No! Right down the line with authority by Jake Milnazik. Wow.
They are attacking the line from the right side between Schwede and Milnazik with extreme efficiency right now. They are burying balls down the line, and it is working so well for this offense from the Untouchables. Anchored by a great pass there from Rosa.
5-point lead for Chicago. They go to Vanderbeek. Kept alive, going to send it over free ball. Good pass by Malero from the back row. What a swing.
Mauro Isek, the man with the man with a plan back there, flying out of the back row. Huge big attack. Vanderbeek had a big swing that, while recovered, warranted a free ball right away, earned them a bit of a half point that it came right back to him. Huge swing and great trust in Serrano to go right back to Isek right there.
They go outside. Nugent off the hands for the kill, and it's 22-17.
Untouchables certainly not accepting their fate, going down in 4 here. They want to send this the distance, give them a chance to win this one in the 5th. They know that it's going to matter. They need to pick up a win. Matadors feeling similarly.
So the 7-footer Paul Bilanzik will serve. Chicago 3 points away from forcing a decisive 5th set. In the middle, Cruz with the answer.
Wow, what a great run. 8 feet off there from Serrano. Finds the open window of Cruz. Great work from the middle, and Matt's not on the mic right now, but Matt would be pleased to see that for sure. Middle works hard. You want to feed the beast.
The Fresno, California native Jacob Vanderbeek serving. They go back to Nugent. Well read there. They go deep. This time Rosa. And a solo block, as that is put down by Gabriel Cruz after the ball was played so well.
And that's a repeat. We see the same swing that Buffum tried to go right earlier. Cruz identifying it early on, reaches quickly into that left seam there that Buffum's trying to attack. And frequently as a one-on-one, as a middle blocker, you get down to whether you're reading and knowing the patterns of the hitter, or sometimes you have to take away court. And so whether this is a scouted knowledge of where Buffum likes to swing, it's a quick read, or it's just an all-around commit guess. We're seeing Gabriel Cruz right now doing damage, and he is just really slowing down that middle threat from Matt Buffum, someone that is so rarely stopped.
You saw Chicago head coach Mitch Whiskerchin speaking with his squad. They are sensing it. We may go to a second consecutive 5-setter here in Atlantic City. Of course, this is the second NVA Cup event of the year. These teams will all fly out to the West Coast in 2 weeks for our 3rd one. And after 9 total matches are played, we'll be back in July to decide a champion for the 2021 year. So nice to be back at it again. Live sports returning everywhere around the country. Is 2021's much better year than 2020, that's for sure.
Certainly is. Love seeing fans getting involved, the league continuing to grow, and excited for 2 weeks from now. And I'm excited to see Jacob Vanderbeek continue to put this team on his back, determined, even if he missed that last serve, he refuses to stop playing, and the team knows that he's their guy. He is getting almost every set, front row, back row. He just gets it done.
We don't have the live stats feed available, but just by watching him, he's over 20 for the match. There's no doubt about that. Off the tape, and wow, Cap just reacts. Cross court, I think he got it.
Nope.
No.
I saw that going through the high seam, goes long, no touch. Point for the Matadors.
I thought he might have grazed the line, but the line judge right there saying no. And it's 23-21, and a crucial moment here deep in the 4th set as Mauro Isek will serve. Big toss, sends it deep. Cap, who's he go to? Back row, off the ceiling. Well read by Malero, but left short by Vanderbeek, and it's set point.
Hey, that's a tough swing in the net, but plain and simple, if you're not swinging there and you're sending a free ball, it's probably going to end the next point right away anyway. So I like it. give the guys a run, because if he makes that connection right there, then all of a sudden we're seeing not a 21-24, but we're going to see, you know, a 22-23. And, you know, it's something to wish that was more of a clutch performance. But I think the correct decision was made. It's just a tough one to execute, but, you know, high risk, high reward. I like it, and I'd go pick Vanderbeek to do it again.
What about the perfect placement off of the ceiling by Malero to find, even give Vanderbeek that opportunity?
I mean, Malero, just plain and simple, he runs one of the most casual bump set second ball libero systems in the league. He loves to just make the most difficult sets look so easy with this platform. He'll throw it over his shoulder when he's not even looking, put his guys in system, and he'll catch a lot of blockers sleeping because they're not expecting what he's willing to do with it. So no surprise there, but it doesn't make it any less impressive, that's for sure.
Tough guy not to root for at 5'4", and he's fun to watch. Set point here, the serve by Nugent. They go outside, and that is put away by the Matadors as they are able to extend the play.
Hidalgo, the explosive Peruvian right there. He's done a stint with the Peruvian national team. Not one of the countries you hear too much about, but certainly an explosive player all the same. And now we're going to see a little bit of a serving substitution to give number 18.
Zuniga. He will serve here. Chance to win it here for Chicago. Vanderbeek with the dig, and Cap fires away. Cap again to open space for the win.
Vanderbeek going dig after dig, and the Matadors needed to make a better play on that. That was a 50-50 ball. They needed someone that was ready to go up and grab that, because Vanderbeek is sitting in there doing everything he can, getting dig after dig, kill after kill. He needs a little bit of help on a 50-50 ball. Patrice needs to go up and try to make a move, make something happen if he can there.
So Cap and Serrano will get together for the coin flip to decide who will have the all-important first serve.
The biggest thing, Matadors, don't go down. Don't get down. Don't let your body language reflect, or don't let your feelings, you know, hopefully don't reflect what your body language says right now. Hopefully they're all just a little tired trying to catch their breath and regather. But, you know, I hope that they are not going to just roll over here, because this team is playing so well. They're battling and they're seeing every point through. But definitely so far from over. You want to see them stay dialed in. Chicago Untouchables, though, definitely showcasing their willingness to keep battling. Their blocking moves are on point. They're killing it right now. So we just are continuing to see huge contributions across the board. Middle with Buffum, Balanzik. On the outside, you're seeing Milnazik going after the ball. And on the right side, Schwady has had a heck of a match so far. Not afraid to continue swinging even if he's getting blocked. And you're seeing a consistent amount of confidence from number 4, Ian Cap. The man with the hands, he's got the plan all the way through. Not afraid to continue setting his guys even if they're getting stopped here and there.
Fifth set coming up after Chicago is able to battle back after losing the last two 25-22. Well, they force a fifth set by the exact same score. If you are Chicago, how much are you going to rely on Ian Cap to try to continue to keep the Matadors off balance, or will there be another secret here in a fifth set? Again, you only got to play to 15.
And, you know, I'm willing to ride or die. I want to see the guys. Right now, Chicago Untouchables has the serving pressure and prowess to just completely control this match. But that requires guys like Milnazik, Cap, being willing to just go back and crush those serves. But I believe in them, and I'm sure their team does too. Now is not the time to get cold feet. You have to be willing to go after those swings. So that's, I think, step number one to seeing if they can, you know, get Matadors a little off kilter.
And if you're Chicago, try to get somebody else to beat you other than Vanderbeek. He has been a machine thus far, spraying balls from all over the court, and rarely has he not been on target. And, you know, Vanderbeek, you talk about somebody who comes in with a lot of energy. He is certainly, outside of Malero, the Libero's been all over the place. He's been the cog that has driven the Matadors as they've bounced back from a lackluster performance yesterday against the Stunners.
Definitely the case here, and he's probably one of the smallest opposites in the league, but man, if you look at his stats and you just see the way he plays with a ton of size, far more than he's got as a stature. I mean, he's only 6'5" at most, but his effectiveness is certainly not anything to be understated here.
As the teams take the court for set number 5. We had one 5-setter already in the books today. That was won by Southern Exposure, and a really fun match to watch against the Dallas side that had come in without a victory. As first serve will be in the hands here of Ian Kapp. Play to 15. Ira Thor with you alongside Nick England here at Harrah's in Atlantic City. Match 2 of 5. Kapp leaves it short. So Jesus Serrano, the 6'3" setter from Guadalajara City, Mexico, will serve. Poked in the middle, it's gonna fall through as that kill belongs to Paul Belanzik, the 7-footer. And Chicago aboard 1-1 as the Untouchables will see Jake Milnazik now serve. Serves it long. Ball back to Hidalgo. 2-1 lead for the Matadors. An early race to 8. And another service error. At this point in the match, well, the teams are leaving it all out there, and that includes the service game. And we'll see if the 7-footer can help Chicago get the edge. Great pass out of the back. And that leads to the put away by Isaac. Jose Malero, perfect pass. As Martin Petrus comes in, the LA native. 3-2 here. And he leaves it short for the ace. Dropping in front of Nugent, who had to come a long way. Couldn't get the touch. And it's 4-2. Martin Petrus, Patrice, has missaid his name, in the middle, off the net, cannot keep it alive, put away by Buffum.
Wow, what a big swing there, and that's once again to go over that rule. If it hits the antenna above the net, it is of course out, but again, that is a line that extends into the net as well, so if the ball's in the net, hits the antenna, that ball will be called out, and that's what stopped that play there.
As Schwede serves, they go to Vanderbeek. This time it's collected from the back row. It's not gonna fall. Sticking out the arm was Malero, but the back row winner for Schwede, and he'll serve as he is tied it at 4-all.
You can expect it going to the pin here on either side to try and get the Matadors to side out. Mauro or Vanderbeek is going to be the answer.
Little floater off the net. They go to Isaac, dug up by Milanzik. And Nugent gets the kill off of the block, uses it well.
Wow, that's a good block move. Vanderbeek set well there, and Gabriel Cruz gets all the way out, just not quite able to angle his hands back in. And that's what you get. That's the third or fourth swing we've seen Milnazik get a kill off of the outside, or going back past him to the outside.
Very tight to the net. It's going to come over. And then he calls a back row attack. And it's 6-4. Chicago on a 4-0 run. That's going to force the Matadors to discuss. No, I was certain they were going to call a timeout here. And they will. It was just a delayed response.
You knew before they did that they wanted one. All of your time spent around the sport, you know exactly when it's coming, and that's one of those things that's always interesting as a player is sometimes you're even playing for, you can tell the momentum and the pressure that you're putting on a team. You know if we get one more point right now, we're going to get a timeout. And sometimes even when you're ahead by 2 or 3 points in a fifth set or a close match, earning a timeout that you know if you can get a big serve right now or something like that, and allowing your team to go back and have a little quick discussion, catch their breath, you can use it to your own benefit. So it's one of those things that I'm sure Chicago Untouchables was feeling it if you were over here as well. And it's one of those things you want to earn that timeout. So Untouchables gets themselves a chance to recenter, and they're going to come back out of this, see if they can execute on whatever they might have been talking about.
If you're around the sport long enough, whether you're an amateur or whether you're a professional like these guys, you just instinctively know when it's time to call that timeout and recollect your thoughts. And a good decision there by the Matadors, as it is a 2-point lead, what was a 2-point deficit. They go back to Vanderbeek, of course. What a dig there by Rosa. Nugent, that's collected, turning around and putting it away. Oh, Cap runs off the court. What a play by the setter. Timely stuff, down, puts it away, 7-4.
Wow. Talk about versatility and the ability to get it done anywhere on the court. Chicago Untouchables, such a well-rounded squad and able to find the solution.
That is brutal if you're the Matadors. There's now a 5-0 run. Vanderbeek with the pass, and that off the foot. It'll land for a kill as Gabriel Cruz needed that one to cut the deficit to 2. Once we get to 8, we switch sides, and
a
Vanderbeek.
technical timeout.
And a technical timeout, correct. So 2 for 1, and Vanderbeek to serve. Right side, wow, authority there as Schwady drops it in. 8-5, they will switch sides, and we get the technical time.
And now as we go to the technical timeout, we've been talking about it all day long. How can you support the teams? How can you get involved? We want to remind you that there is an NVA booth over here next to the NVA main court for official team gear. And if you want to check out some of the hottest stuff with the best looking jerseys, Southern Exposure currently has some gear laid out over there right now. If you want to head over that way, you can always support them. And make sure to follow the Instagrams on the other teams so that you can check out when they've got upcoming gear sales. And teams are doing their best to provide some high quality stuff that's worthy of grabbing so that you can support your team. They always appreciate it. So once again, that's over at the NVA booth over by the NVA main court, just behind myself and Mr. Ira Thor right now. All right, we're at 8-5. Chicago Untouchables are leading in the most authoritative way that we've seen for them in a bit. What do you think right now? Is this something? Are they going to maintain this lead?
I've been impressed with Chicago's ability to not be impacted by deficits in this match. A lot of teams, when you face, I think a good example is in the first match where Dallas, fell behind, got some uncomfortable moments, and ultimately couldn't pull it out. But Chicago, just the fight in them has been impressive. A group that not high in the standings right now, literally playing for its playoff lives, and they've really been resilient, really. And I mean, resilient's been a word that you've heard so much in 2020 with what's going on in the world. Chicago's embraced that here today as Nugent serves. And
there's the hammer.
Cruz answers.
Oh, my God.
Gabriel Cruz coming through now with 2 big swings. And it is a 2-point deficit now.
Wow. Cruz is answering back with some critical swings right now.
Moro Izik, the YouTube star, and not a boxer like that other YouTube star. They go cross court, dug up again by Malero. Cruz again comes over for a 3rd time. Malero collects it. In the middle, off the hands. Cruz again gets the touch.
Wow, that speaks to the quality of a player that Jose Malero is. He gets a dig. That is not only a critical dig, but he digs it perfectly to allow them to run that backside with Cruz, who in the middle of that rotation went to the back. You can tell if it was a back 1 or a quick 5. Either way, getting involved in a variety of ways.
Izik looking to tie, leaves it short. But the Matadors certainly not done yet. I'll tell you what, they're a scrappy bunch, that's for sure.
They're definitely answering back and not ready to roll over.
9-7 Chicago, 6 away. That is long. And now a little separation late. It is 10-7.
Matadors need to side out right now.
Buffum serving. Good spot deep, nearly handcuffs the Matadors. Dug up by Chicago. They go left side. Platform pass. Vanderbeek never went over. And it is 11-7. And Chicago down 2-1 is getting closer to the finish line.
You want to talk about respect? 2 D-balls in a row. Chicago Untouchables is putting up 3-man blocks. Milnazic pulled off on that last one, but they are having Cap come all the way across. They do not want to leave the net open for him.
Hands, that is dug up. Cap sends it deep. Waiting for it was Libero. In the middle, Cruz with another answer. Well, Vanderbeek carried them through the first 4 sets. It's been Cruz here in the 5th.
We'll see now as he rotates into the back row if Martin Patrice, fresh off the bench, is able to get it done. And we're going to see a serving substitution coming in right now.
It'll be Eduardo Zuniga. And we'll see if he's able to serve tough. Good deep line drive. Nugent with the set and slotting it through for the winner as Jake Milnazic once again comes through, and Cap will have the ball in his hands, 12-8. Cap's already got 1 big ace here in the 5th set. That one nearly glances off the ceiling. They try to run it down. Vanderbeek sends it deep. Free ball opportunity in the middle, and it's good. As connecting were Cap and Bolanzik, and now just 2 away for Chicago. That will be timeout number 2.
Wow, and this is what I was talking about a little bit earlier when you talk about the 5th set, and it is so difficult to get to where we are now and having these 1 and 2 point leads, and that's why I talked about that a little bit earlier on this morning with the 5 set we had and with the 5 set we had from the Stingers and the Ramblers yesterday. That's what's really incredible to me, and so this is what I'm kind of not as surprised to see, that once you get to that 5th set, one of the teams just a little bit rattled. They're not quite sure how to battle back, and you see that 5-point deficit. Matador is certainly not out by any means, but I mean, to say that there's an easy way back in would be a huge disservice to the lead that the Chicago Untouchables have been able to create for themselves here.
The Untouchables looking for their 2nd win in as many days, and 2 and 3, well, they'd be right back in the playoff thick of things. And Ian Cap, what can he do here late? Leaves it short with the power.
And you know, it's so easy to remember some of the missed serves, but at the same time, I can remember 4 missed serves. I think I've already counted more aces though, and it speaks to how much of a firepower he is on that back line. So, you know, something that they're willing to accept.
Jesus Serrano off the tape. Cap looks to his right, sends it, and that's gonna fall in as that is put away by the lefty Schwede, and we have match point for Chicago. They go right side, down the line, dug up by Rosa. Cap, cross court, and it's over as Kyle Schwede delivers. And the Chicago Untouchables win set number 5, 15-9. And they win the match 3-2. Schwede dropping the final hammer, and a great effort between these 2 teams. The Untouchables and the Matadors left it all out there.
Wow, what a match. We are going the distance all day long, and we have another great match right around the corner here. Actually scheduled to be starting at, is it at, I believe, it's scheduled to start at 2 o'clock. We're going to take a couple minutes here to get that rollover. This is one of the first times we've ever had back-to-back 5 sets. So, you know, we're going to get these teams all warmed up and ready to go. So for the first time, our schedule is going to be just slightly off, but stay tuned. We're going to get another great match going with the Las Vegas Ramblers and the OC Stunners. But first, we got to hear a word from the player of the match.
It could be a number of different men today, but Schwady, I think Schwady probably has earned that honor.
If you want to go grab him, bring him on over, I'll have a word with the man. Yep, we're going to bring him on over here. And that was an absolute nail-biter, but I'm going to take a step back while we track him down and talk about the importance. So those were 2 of the teams that were currently coming in at 1-3. So their ability to get the win there for the Chicago Untouchables is going to bring them to 2-3. That is critically important, as we just said a moment ago, in their ability to secure an important win in this in their prolonged season. So right now they just completed over halfway on the season. They're 2-3, but that's going to put them in an entirely winnable spot to get one of those top 4 positions. That's going to send them into July. And while we're getting a moment here, I do want to say a huge shout out to our sponsors. Once again, we've got Mikasa, the proud ball sponsor of the NVA, as well as JBJ Events, who is a critical part of putting on this event here in the Harris Casino in Atlantic City. So we're so thankful that we've had them involved with us. And we're getting the sideline shot all set up. So just give us one moment here, and then we are going to kick it over to Mr. Ira Thor alongside of Mr. Schwady, the right side, who could not be stopped for the Chicago Untouchables. Had an absolute stellar match, and it looks like my team is ready, and we're going to go ahead and send it on over. Go ahead, gentlemen, over to you.
Ira Thor alongside Kyle Schwady after the Chicago Untouchables. What a comeback, down 2-1. What's it feel like to be able to, in that moment, you guys are down in a match you really have to win today to stay in the playoff standings?
Yeah, it feels amazing. I mean, you can't ask for a better opportunity to have these guys. We've got a great team out here. It took a lot of heart, determination. Mitchell was amazing as a coach, bringing us back in. I mean, without Mitchell's leader and guidership, we wouldn't be here right now. He guided the ship. We did really well.
There were so many pieces for the Matadors that were connecting well. Jacob Vanderbeek was carrying them for a while. Obviously, Gabriel Cruz in that 5th set really delivered when it was still close. But you guys were able to find the answer every single time. What is it about this Untouchable squad that 0-3 coming into this weekend has found some answers?
I think it's resiliency. We've got a good, strong team that's coming out, battling for every point. I mean, you don't see us sitting there Lyle dogging. I mean, it's a very fun team to be a part of. It's just a huge honor to be here, and we can't thank you guys enough for hosting this.
Now, what about your own game did you think really was working well? You were connecting on both pins, obviously on the right side is your natural spot, but you had some big moments where you were putting balls away on the outside in this one.
I greatly appreciate it. You know, it's our first time running together as a duo, Cap and I, and so our timing's still not quite there, but we're working really hard to kind of get it. Cap is another amazing setter, probably the best setter I've ever played with. Sorry, any other setters I've ever played with. He's just great. Good high energy, amazing jump serve, and his precision when he's setting is just always there. He's a fun guy to play with.
And that was actually going to be my final question, was Cap being added to the roster. Can you talk about some of the moves that you guys have made as a team to come back this weekend and really put yourselves in position to be victorious now twice?
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's huge to have a lot of these good, solid East Coast guys kind of hyping us, giving the lay of the land. I mean, Cap, you can't argue. He's a wonderful player, and he's fun to be with. He brings about a great energy. Tall Paul, another guy. I love the guy. I mean, it's been a wonderful team to be a part of.
Well, the Chicago Untouchables, they get it done down 2-1. Man in the match as they are victorious 3-2.
Hey, appreciate it.
Wow, if you weren't a fan of him before, Schwady has made you a fan now. He is electric, he is full of energy, and that man delivered all match long. So great to hear a little bit more about the Chicago Untouchables there. Thank you so much, Ira. That's going to do it from the team. We're going to go ahead and get prepared now for an OC Stunners lineup playing the Las Vegas Ramblers. That's going to do it for me. For Ira, they'll be back here with Matt Prosser back on the mic. I've got to go do a little bit of damage on the court. We'll see you back here in just a few short minutes. It's coming up quick. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
expecting that 2.5 hour break, but man, well, something about that game went really slow.
Hopefully you got a chance to eat a little bit.
Did you get anything to eat?
No, but I'll be good for a little bit. I had well, I'll take a break after this one. I stopped at Wawa.
No, I do. I stopped at one too.
Oh my god. Alright, so you have been introduced to the great East Coast convenience store.
Yes, it was an eye opener.
Years ago. Yes. Let's see what we got here.
Thank you. I'm not hearing him through this mic.
Is it on?
Now I hear you.
Okay, now I got you. Yeah,
Now I hear you. All right, so I guess we're going on.
You didn't tell me the password.
And we are back here at Harrah's in Atlantic City for match number 3 on day 2 of the NVA Cup. Our first 2 today went a full 5 sets. So let's see what we have in store for our third of the day. And it'll be a good one as we have a Las Vegas Rambler squad that is on fire right now against an OC Stunners team that after going 0-3 to start the year, a team that was decimated by injuries, well, they came back with some fire of their own yesterday as they put up a block fest to pick up the victory. Ira Thor joined alongside 2-time All-American Matt Prosser. You saw the Stunners yesterday emerge, and you know their name certainly didn't surprise anybody. They didn't stun anybody. They certainly brought the blocking party.
Yeah, you know, one of the big surprises of this kind of new revamped squad that the Stunners brought to Atlantic City and locked into their rosters is just the physicality so far that is a little bit different than our first event we had several weeks back. They had some injuries, so they brought some new players in. You're going to see their new setter, Demi. He was the MVP of the match yesterday in their win. So you're seeing a new offense. You're seeing some different guys come in and out. But from the physicality standpoint, the Stunners, one of the most physical teams in our league here. Meanwhile, for the Ramblers, 6'11", Sean Dennis, their middle blocker. Look for him to make a big impact. They've got Ryan Mather, also 6'8", very physical, opposite hitter. And then obviously Brandon Rattray, their outside hitter, that's going to carry a huge offensive load for them throughout this match as well.
And for the Stunners, that ability to carry over the blocking game from yesterday, do they have what it takes to slow down the Rattray train, which as of right now looks like it's been unstoppable? He's been arguably the best player in the league. He's got the numbers to back that up.
Yeah, absolutely. He's made an impact since he came back from Spain, and through that first weekend, he was leading the league in aces, and I believe he's continuing to lead that category as well. And his hitting percentage out of the back row and the front row is definitely at the top of the NVA. So he has made a huge impact and is a major role player for the Ramblers as well.
Well, coming in 69 total points. That was 14 more than the Tyrants Gianluca Grusa, and we'll see how much of an impact he does indeed have today, as we are courtside quietly hoping that we don't go to 5 for a third straight match, because as much as we all love volleyball, it'd be nice to get a sandwich or something at some point.
Come on, Ira, you're a professional. You can do with granola bars and potato chips between games.
I mean, that is a healthy diet. That is a Memorial Weekend diet. We don't have Memorial Weekend weather here in Jersey, by the way. It has been raining all day the last 2 days. It is in the low 50s outside. Fortunately, we are indoors in this awesome ballroom here at Harrah's, where there is a huge juniors event going on behind us. We have 3 courts side by side here in the primary section where we are playing this tournament.
Yeah, the weather outside is not ideal for Memorial Day weekend, but that's okay because that keeps everyone inside. Here you see all the fans and all the other courts going on. This is all happening here at Harrah's Casino Resort in Atlantic City. So big kudos to them for hosting and allowing the NBA to come in and be a part of this. And, as this match goes on and some of the action gets going, we're going to see some high-level stuff. So expect more people getting their money's worth. And I agree with you on the whole 5-set thing. I wouldn't mind seeing 3 or 4, but, if we've got to go the distance, then so be it.
You California guys don't really deal with temperatures like this very much. This is like an Arctic blast. As speaking of a blast, an ace to get going as the Stunners. Ace Brandon Rattray. Doesn't get ace very often, but off the high hands there.
Yeah, that's Randy Ramirez over there, number 27 for the Stunners, with his jump float serve down the line. And Brandon Rattray just catches that one up high and goes out of bounds. And this time he gets a second ace on the net trickler. A little help from the home equipment there. So back-to-back aces right out of the gate for Randy Ramirez. We didn't see him play yesterday.
Ramirez gets into the lineup and has immediately made an impact. Vegas with a 5-set win yesterday of its own over Utah, and we'll see how they respond here. It's an early depth.